Let's go. All right, what up, everybody? Oh, we got a little bit of a glitch going here. Great.
Like
awesome.
the Matrix.
Hey, are we good? Haha. Okay, seamless entry.
Are we glitching?
No, it's just that beginning part.
Oh, okay.
Are we good? We're good now. All right, what up,
that
everybody?
That was the new special effects.
Dude, yeah,
we've been testing out.
Our new special effects studio is up. All right, let me adjust Quinn here. Okay, we're still ripping right now. Ripping and glitching.
We were glitching. Look.
Stream's current bitrate is higher than normal. Okay, did someone
it might have been me
Stream
trying to do the Go Sports thing here.
Okay, all right. Stream is healthy. We are looking good.
Let's just shut down the Go Sports.
Let me see here. Settings. Let me adjust some bitrate stuff here. Video output 5500.
Dude, look at that.
Wow, let's go to 5000 here. See if that changes anything. We might need to run the other camera. I'm assuming that this thing's okay here. Aha! Did that do it? Maybe it was just a little faulty, dodgy connection. All right, we should be good now.
That was pretty cool.
It did look cool. It did look cool. So again, everybody, welcome to episode number 98 here, live on the Spick Span Show. We've got iconic paintballs, Quinn Nadeau himself, joining us. Okay, I thought you were about to stand up. You took your headphones off. You were about to stand up. And yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna jump straight into it. We're gonna jump straight into a couple of things. But if you guys don't already know who Quinn is, he runs Iconic with all of his extra spare time, and he's been crushing it with the content. And as everybody knows, we need more content in our paintball lives. So we're also going to have Maddie Marshall join us too. But Quinn, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it.
I know you're busy.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys having me on. I've been fired up here for a few days now since I saw the All-Star list get, there was a little bit of leakage before the show came out, so I got a little sneak peek, and I've been really fired up. I agree with some of them. I really disagree, heavily with some of them, and I think there were some people who got really snubbed on this list, so I'm really excited to kind of jump in and talk about it. I kind of think before we even talk about it, I'm still questioning what was the criteria for choosing this list? Because you see some of the names and you kind of think, okay, this is 100% talent based, but then you see other names, you're like, okay, we're doing a little bit of, social or historical, data with this.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and we are going to get Maddie on here in a second. I'm just pulling up the entire roster as it's been chosen. Most of you guys hopefully have seen or may have seen that Go Sports did it wasn't live because we did it last week, but they did a pretty much live. I was on it live. Draft here, and there were some stipulations to it. And again, we'll have Maddie kind of come in there and talk a little bit about the selection process and how some of the guys got voted in there. You see some familiar faces on there. Definitely guys that are on the top of the roster, which is great because, well, good and bad. There's not a lot of players on the roster that we're just kind of there because it was the fair thing to do. I think is one way of putting it. In all-star matches in the past, it's kind of like pick one player from each team or two players from each team to kind of make it as good as nice as possible. I don't know, as politically correct as possible maybe. This one they just kind of went for the All-Stars. And again, I know Quinn, you have your thoughts about it as well.
Yeah, I don't even know where we want to jump in with this. 38 players, it's a lot to kind of attack. But, I think we could jump in early. I kind of, in my own mind, kind of ranked through this own list once I saw it, who I kind of see as the first team, the second team, third team, fourth team guys of kind of the all NXL team. Before I start spouting off my yes and no's, do you guys have anyone on this list where you're wondering why the hell are they on it?
Aside from myself, why the hell are they on it? Well,
you're trying to get us in trouble. This is your job.
Yeah. This is
we're men of the community.
Yeah, Axel. Where's Yosh?
Like, Jesus, like, you're talking about Axel. Like, what a snub. Like, who's voting on this thing? The guy is like a, for sure top-level Snake guy right now. And in terms of, like, an offensive player, I'm taking him in, like, my top 5 if I'm choosing offensive guys, probably. So the fact that he got just absolutely snubbed is crazy to me, because there's guys on this list that don't even start on their team, and Axel has, like, helped push that team into Sunday before the gang all joined back up.
Yeah, that is true. And that's a really good. Oh, we're glitching again. That's a really good point. And yeah, you put it that way. Though there are a lot of Snake guys. Are you going to put him at the top of the list on the Snake side of things?
I wouldn't put him at the top, but I would certainly, on this list of people who made it, I'd probably have him as the 3rd best Snake guy on this list to me. Snake play is really hard because you can get 2 or 3 really good years in, and then you basically just always carry the reputation as elite, whether you're actually doing anything for your team or not. So that's kind of my problem. I mean, even when, like, just to be honest, when you look at someone like Axel, I think it's important to look at each team individually. And if you look at impact, like, obviously you take J-Rad and Mouse immediately from that team as picks. But, like, you're really telling me the committee felt Zach Yakimek was higher on that impact list than Axel was, when Axel, is a core guy for them, even with Goldman back?
Yeah, that's true. Well, here, let me. I'm going to bring up your All-Star roster swaps here, and again, I'm waiting for this a little easier. I'm waiting for Maddie to get back, because I really want him on the debate table here as well. We can definitely get Alex in, because Alex is. But Alex holds back. He's a little soft on this. I see him chatting away in there. This is actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring this up. Let me check a screenshot of it. And sorry for what's going on with this camera situation. Not sure if you can.
I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm going to jiggle this cable right here. Sometimes maybe that'll work, make it work. But we've been here before where we jiggled the cable, and then. Yeah, why is this happening? What is Max head? What's that?
I turned my Wi-Fi off.
No, it's not a Wi-Fi thing. It's a connection thing. some sort of connection issue that was not happening for the 10 minutes that the thing was in the lobby. But as soon as we went live, game respect game. What is Max headroom? And it is awfully hot in here.
It was that conspiracy thing from, like, the late 90s, wasn't it? Where there was that. Someone took over, like, every major television broadcast and played, like, that random video of that guy, like a made-up person.
Wait, so real thing?
V for Vendetta. That's what we're talking about?
Got something else, but...
All right, so I've got your list is popping up right here. Hold on, I'm gonna turn it off really quickly so I can bring it up here. All right, are you ready? Should we just? So everybody, you just let's see. We've got about 160 people in the list or in viewing right now live. I want everybody to hit the like button really quickly. Especially even though you don't really like the show, just hit it anyway. Even though this isn't like the camera situation is going nuts, still need you guys to hit it that way. And we're gonna jump right into Quinn's because we don't have Quinn for the entirety of the show. So yeah, like Alex says, smash that shit.
Yeah, if you want to see Quinn's list,
we've got it queued up here, and
you're almost there. At least 100.
At least 100. There we go. 85. Also, just before Quinn, I got to do one quick little plug here for Matrix Gear PB. So Paul from Matrix Gear has been giving away a ton of stuff on the show for the last 6 months now. Basically just a minimum of $200 worth of gift cards every show. And we were just talking to him about episode 100. We got episode 100 coming around the corner.
There we go. 100.
Also,
102.
Yeah, also there, Quinn. And he wants to go big, like big. So there's a good chance that he might be giving away a gun and other stuff on the show for episode 100. But you guys need to make sure you're following Matrix Gear PB at Matrix Gear PB on Instagram, so that way you guys can win. And Nick Slowiak, if you want to come over,
your donation.
Yeah, shout out to Nick.
Does Nick got beef with me, or is he giving you money towards a steak dinner?
No, we're gonna get actual beef.
Yeah. I don't know if he has beef with you, unless you somehow create beef on the show, which we can do. I mean, everybody's happy to hear that too.
I mean, as long as you just say the word allegedly, you can basically just make up anything. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like
That's
with all due respect.
Full legal armor.
It's like
No,
with all due respect.
Nick's in town. We're gonna get some nice. We're gonna go to that place with the really nice steaks.
When, tonight or tomorrow?
I think tomorrow because it's gonna be closes early.
Okay.
So we go tomorrow.
Okay.
Cook those bad boys.
I thought
up.
Nick was gonna come on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
don't know.
forgot. I mean, unless he comes storming in here. Anyway, super excited about Matrix Gear giving away a bunch of stuff. So we talked today, and episode 100 is coming up right around the corner. You're going to want to be here for that. Also, Island Designs is giving away a Lux for charity. So check out Island Designs Instagram, and you can get involved in winning a brand new TM40 Lux by whatever, DLX.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I forgot who they were for a little bit, because I haven't had them complain about my commentary lately. So it just they slipped my mind. So all right, Quinn, back to you.
Us.
Yeah, give it to us.
Well,
Let's
actually,
go.
you got to do it.
Oh yeah, I got to do it. Okay.
Screenshot.
Let's get this list up.
Okay.
Makes everything easier.
So yeah, all right, here we go. For those of you at home, so first team. Let's see, where's the best place to put this? I guess we kind of put it all over our entire bodies because we're glitching out so much, and because Quinn looks good. Quinn, you always look good. So,
sure.
All right, here we are. Like, okay, so let's explain. I like how you.
Off. Oh no, you're just cutting off the team at the top. The team name.
Oh, is that what I did? Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so can everybody see this? Shout out to Brian Basnek and Tiptoe JT. Now we can get 2 steaks.
So just to break down, kind of to make sense of all this. So everything in the actual main columns under like Team Skinny, Team Martinez, there's like the actual, like that's the list of the people who made it. And then I kind of ranked them through what I thought basically from like the first team All NXL, second team, and so on, kind of color-coded down through. Obviously the green at the top are the guys I felt like are, the top of the top, absolutely belong there. And then as you move down, you can see I start to disagree more. I kind of have guys I felt should replace it.
It just says, oh, there we go. It should be up again here in a second. All right, we should be good.
Okay, I think we're back.
Hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, that was weird. Now we're ripping.
All right, so continue. I don't know where. So maybe backtrack a little bit.
I think we were talking about Cali heat. It is incredibly hot in this room right now, but yeah, we're cruising. We're flying right now. So I think it kind of started moving around right around the. You're talking about like how Dynasty and Impact guys. Obviously, a lot of the rosters there should be on here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and just because by nature the lower ranked teams who are doing terrible right now, not playing well, like they deservedly shouldn't get a title of an all-star player just out of the sake of parity. And I mean, even for the sake of the fans themselves, I'd much rather see a top-heavy all-star game with the actual best players versus saying like, boy, I'm happy 2 guys from Uprising I don't know are on this list. You know what I mean? So I guess. Yeah, my biggest thing is, like, I really felt there were people that were just absolutely snubbed on this list. And I the way I looked at the people I thought that should be on this list that didn't, I tried to kind of understand the logic that whoever picked these names in the pool used. Because, again, it just seems very kind of all over the place with what their metric was for picking people. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, you have guys in here that are at 98% of the points they're playing, and then you have guys in here like backups on their team essentially now, and they're somehow getting spots in over guys like Snowtrov, who is like an undeniable elite level talent.
Well, yeah, I mean that's absolutely right. I mean there are Malloy obviously made it. I mean Kirill should have made it also. You're right. You're right about Smotrov. Obviously, he's a fantastic talent. And he's in the U.S. right now, right? Not like that has much to do with.
He's in California.
Oh, is he?
And they're not playing the event this weekend. Wonder if he's going to play with someone else.
Wait, he's in California, not playing the event.
No, he's in California, but Russian Legion's not playing me then.
Oh.
Sounds like you have something you want to say.
We'll have to save that for later when Maddie's in here.
Okay.
We might have some juice, but Your Honor, I said allegedly first.
Allegedly. I said it at the beginning. It covers the remainder of the show.
I thought it was the coaches and...
So every coach, from my understanding, again, Maddie's going to be on the show here in the next, hopefully, 10 minutes. He did have to go to a doctor's appointment with his son. He said he should be back by 4. In Maddie time, that's at least a 20 to 30 minute buffer on either side. So now here is the thing. Let me pull this up. Now, what I want to do is get everybody who's on here, go ahead and throw in on what would be your list, who you think was snubbed, right? Smotrov, definitely. I think that's a good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good one. I don't know how you're trying to get rid of my boy Mikey on that list. You're high.
So here's
on
the
that
only
one.
reason I have an argument with Mike now. Like, I've said this to you privately, whatever. If I'm building a team from the ground up today and it's like, hey, you got to pick, the younger guys in the league to start it, like Mike is probably going to be one of the first guys I pick just because he's an absolute versatile offensive weapon. But again, I kind of looked at this like if we're looking at, I think the way I did my list, you either have to be an undeniable contributing all-star level player, or you need to be like a Jamal Crawford kind of 6-man where you're making huge impacts off the bench.
What team does he play
and
for?
Unfortunately, I mean, your guys' team's really top-heavy now, and unfortunately that means Mike has been getting less spins, so it's hard to say, if you're not getting a ton of spins, it's hard to make the argument because that's just how it is for me, I think. Like, it's every other major sports league you see, they don't do that. I mean, like, it's tough even with someone like Kyle, like yourself, because obviously you're undeniably incredibly talented, but like you went from playing basically every single point for Saints as a total dominator, and now at Dynasty, it's like you guys split time on like 12 guys now or 11 guys or whatever it is. So
I went to a team that's won the last 3 events, and I got second with the team before. I don't come in like, hey, all you guys sit your asses on the bench.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm saying but it's the thing that sucks at Dynasty because I mean, like for me, being honest, if this is purely a list, you're just saying put the most talented guys on it. You basically just put the whole Dynasty roster on, and you have to be a pretty big asshole to argue against.
Yeah, I know, but then we still need another 9 guys to fill out the roster because
don't even do it. Just put Dynasty up against the NXL All Stars and call it a day.
Call it a day.
That's good paintball.
I agree with that. And well, here's the other thing though, and this is something that like no one would have foreseen, and Archie himself was like Archie being not only like playing as well as he has been playing, but being the undisputed number 1 in the Snake 2 events in a row. Right? Like beating out Mikey, beating out Kyle, beating out Arturo. And Mikey did split points with Dalton, and Dalton is insanely good, and Mikey played outstanding over on that other side. And so and then the other thing is we're not building a team to beat Dynasty. We're not building Dynasty. We're building an all-star roster.
And I would honestly, just to go back about that tournament too. So yeah, you had Snake guys that were getting in the Snake better than I think a lot other players that played that tournament got in the Snake a lot more often and got down it faster than Archie. But for Archie to have the ability to come from an insert bunker, shoot their front guy out, and then work his way into the Snake, doing basically a Snake insert player along with the front Snake player's job, just him solely, that's like pretty outstanding to be able to do that because he was doing the job of 2 people over there as one guy. With letting the opponent team sometimes get in the Snake majority of the time before him, and then figuring out a way to shoot another guy and get that guy off the field, which I thought was pretty impressive. Because I don't think it wasn't like Archie was going in the Snake every single point before the other guys and getting down.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you kind of said it earlier, Ryan, too. Like, the Snake is really... I think in an all-star game, the Snake is really hard because it's obviously its own single position, but it varies so much with the type of guys people play. Like, I mean, as Kyle just said, the way Archie plays it versus someone like Billy versus someone like Axel, like, how do you kind of quantify who's those top guys when it's such a varying position in itself?
Yeah. And dude, I do agree. I mean, I think Axel's a tremendous player. I think he is definitely really good. But we Yeah, I don't know. That's just let's bring your list. And hey, everybody who's watching this, I know we got nearly 200 of you in the lobby live here. Shoot over what you guys. Who do you think was snubbed on your end? So here's the all-star list, okay? And we're gonna go over this a couple times. So on this all-star list, Quinn, you're saying maybe no Reeser, no Mark Johnson.
In that list, though, when you put like
I should have put a little cool little like
when you put like
through.
first team, second team, is that like how they were picked, or is
I
that?
more so mean that in the weight of like in standardized sports, you have like first team All NFL, second team, like it's basically just another level to add to. You're in the All-Star game now. Let's rank the All-Stars in the All-Star game. You know what I mean? And I kind of also did it slightly positionally because obviously you can't like. I didn't want to just be like, hey, the first all-team NXL is 5 snake guys or something, but I tried to make some sense of it. But I mean, even in like, so we keep talking about snubs in this. I mean, there's guys I just don't understand. And, I say all of this with all due respect because, like, obviously, basically everyone on this list, outside of some of the very young guys, they're all very decorated pros with long histories. But I think it's important. You got to look at, like, there's a point where guys start to kind of go the other way in their career in terms of skill level. Like, I truly do not agree with Corey Field on this list at all. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it at all. I don't know how you can't put someone like Callie or Joe Barrett if you're looking at, like, a support kind of anchor role guy. It's absolutely absurd to me that he's on the list above guys like that where, those guys are team changers on their individual teams. Mm-hmm. And then I just feel like Thunder, he's on the field a lot, but he's also off the field a lot, it feels like. And I don't get it. That one feels like more of it's a historical bias than it necessarily is, recency of what's relevant and happening. And to me, that kind of falls in the same boat. Even if you look at someone on this list like Mark Johnson, for instance, I really don't get that at all. Because to me, like, to be an all-star level, like, obviously Mark Johnson's talented. He's a very good anchor, and I've talked about him in that role before, and he's a great leader on that team. But, like, their team is not doing well, and it has been consistently not doing well for 2-3 seasons now. So it's hard for me to, to have someone like Harris, for instance, or like, Matt Jackson not being on this list, but someone like Mark or Corey even is crazy to me.
Yeah, like I agree there on the Matt Jackson.
Yeah, Matt Jackson is like a key part of that team. Like, he's not just like a random, 6'7" body. Like, he's consistently on the field in big moments for them and produces for them as a big time closer. Mm-hmm. That's why it makes no sense to me. And, I don't know. It's weird recency. And then even when I look at stuff like individual teams, it's weird to me that Jason Edwards is on this list, but then not Brian Smith, who to me, Smith has the entirety of the historical record to be on a list like this. And then he still plays as, a basically every single point guy for a team that just won an event 2 events ago.
Yeah, that's true. I do like your insight. And does everybody agree with, let's see, and you're right on Colt Roberts. I do believe that Colt Roberts should be in here. Colt Roberts is solid. As
huge stuff.
As a matter of fact, Colt, I believe, might be joining me in Paris to play in the Masters division. So I apologize to all over 40 European players that are out there, but y'all about to get dunked on if Colt joins me out there.
I think just individual skill level. Colt is phenomenal. Like, to me, on the Dorito side, you have the guys that are. They need a 2 behind them kind of guys. Then you have the guys who you could just put out there on an island and they're going to get it done. And that's the class of like Dalton, Colt, Chad, guys like that who you just put there and they're going to get the job done. To me, Colt is that guy. So I'm, again, really confused. And that's why I said I don't get the criteria because, even if we're talking about, historical things, someone just said in the comments, like, you're not going to put Thomas Taylor on this list if you're just looking at, historical success and kind of weight of the personality. Like, dude's in his 20th season and he's still a solid player and he's won a lot. And then again, you have these guys that historically have not been good for a while, but, I guess they just made the list because they're a name. It's just odd to me.
Yeah, would you think it would be a total disaster? This is from Kevin Pitts. If the community voted on who qualified as an all-star, How close do you think that the list would be to how it is now?
I would have chose the community a million times over. When I first saw this list get leaked, I called Carl and was talking to him about this, Carl Markowski, and the first thing he said to me was like, why the hell didn't the community pick these? And I'm kind of in the same boat. I really think the voting should have, obviously this should have had way more timing in front of it. I love the idea still, but this should have been something we were talking about, an event or two ago to me. It should have been something more like, 50% fan vote, 25% coach, 25% players. And
that would be really tough. Like that would be a very difficult scoring algorithm.
Is it though? All these guys are at events. Just make it a requirement of being a part of the NXL league. Like you have to vote the same way the NFL does and the NBA does. You just have to vote. I think how hard would it have been just to make a link where you just had the list and fans could just check the boxes of their 10 picks or 20 picks. You know what I mean?
We got Alex chirping in here about Corey Field. He's on it right now.
I didn't see his comment.
Oh, he's big, and he had him in the ICC All-Star game.
Oh no, for sure. So again, I agree. Like Corey's gun off the break is arguably one of the better ones in the league. Like it's disgusting. It's good, but my argument is there's guys that didn't make this list that are much more multi-dimensional that I feel got snubbed.
And what do you think about putting 2 guys from each team in like they used to do?
Awful. I think that's like the worst idea because
worst.
You just get total people that have no place being in that. With all due respect to the bottom half, and even I said before to fans, like I love watching the sport. I do not want to watch guys from Uprising and DMG and these lower level teams. Like I don't want to watch it. Like I'm not going to say, boy, I'm happy Blake's on the sidelines because Marcelo and Ryan already got picked. Like no one's going to say that. Like we want to see Blake smashing up against Kyle down the middle of the field because we never get to see that in reality. Like that's cool to watch, and that's the interesting stories to me. This shouldn't be a game about parity. It shouldn't be a game about showcasing small markets, whatever the hell they want to do. Don't call it an all-star game. Then it's a pickup game at that point. You know what
I mean? Let's talk about. Actually, here
you put Chad in front of Mouse.
I'm gonna put you right here. You can just look this way.
Yeah, to me right now, Billy. I think Billy last year was an undeniable best state player in the league. I think Chad is so precise now. I take him because I see him get put in a spot a lot where they rely on Tyler in the 2 spot to really be an anchor, pretty much all directions on the field, and Chad gets islanded kind of a lot, and he is just. His patience level now is just insane. Like his timing is so good all the time. Mm-hmm. And he has a big role in Heat. Todd basically asked him like, hey, you're going to play 100% of the points and I need you to be at 120% every single time. And he just does it. No questions asked.
Dude, yeah. I love that. I think that's great insight on that one.
I don't know. It's been since what? Like it's been since Florida of last year since we've seen kind of what I like to call isolated play from Mouse. Mm-hmm. When we saw him the first event, Kyle was a massive part of what they did on that side of the field. So it's hard to be like, hey, Mouse was definitively, a dominator over there because he had other guys' his team just, wrecking. And now with the depth Impact has, J-Rab obviously is really showing you can be a superstar on a loaded roster and stand out, but it's really hard on a team with that much depth to stand out, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, and again, I want everybody who's in here, I want your guys' comments, especially on this bottom 4th team, right? The 4th team is the most contentious from Quinn's side. And now back to this Axel Godin pick. I don't mind having him down a little further because you do need center bodies, right? If you look at the list, we've got and this is why I think Nick Laval's not a bad pick, especially on 2nd, 3rd team kind of area, because you got Blake. They got both Blake and Nick, which was we weren't expecting them to do that back to back. They got Blake they got Nick and Rainey, actually. And did they get Blake also?
Wait, no, Nick's here.
Oh, we got Nick. They got Rainey. They got Rainey and Blake on the same time. Anyway, what I was getting at is I was just trying to remember exactly how this went, and I don't agree with our pick Well, it's not that I don't agree with it. I wouldn't have taken Thomas Kim so high only because we had already picked Dalton, Fedorov, Mishka, Malloy, myself, Archie. So we have a ton of guys that are like can fit into that number one on the Dorito side, and then we grabbed Thomas Kim in lieu of getting possibly like another
or Justin Cornell. I don't know where that.
Yeah, I think we got Justin Cornell, didn't we?
No, we did, but I don't know at what point.
Yeah, that's right.
I also just haven't watched it yet because I saw the picture of it. So
Yeah,
I was like,
you got the idea.
Yeah,
I see the picture.
I was trying to screenshot. I was taking the screenshot, and then I was going back and kind of trying to see what order like everyone got picked. So I don't know at what point like Justin Cornell got picked versus.
I really wish they would have done it in like a list on their thing, so I could say, "Oh, this guy got picked 6th overall" or something.
So they did, and I actually
because it looks like
I wrote it down. So they did, and it goes in this order now. Just so it went like.
So you got
Mouse,
picked
J-Rap.
15th.
I got picked 15th. Yeah. So Tyler and I were in the last one, but like Mark Johnson was the last one, and then I believe Trevor was right above that, and then like. So, unfortunately for everybody at home, as we were talking about the heat, all screen function on our production studio went live. That's why, Quinn, you're looking at us right now because no one can see you. I also lost all control to being able to do anything on the show.
So we can either unplug it and try to plug it back in, or just
no. We're not doing that again.
Keep it like this.
So the screen is dark, both screens, the dual monitor, the whole deal, and we are now basically a live podcast again.
So hopefully we don't get some flack.
This is what happens. When I opened the computer, it did say, "Would you like to update your MacBook now?" And I was like. Well, no, I don't want to update it like 10 minutes before the show because what if the software isn't compatible with the OBS stuff? And then it said, "Oh, okay, you don't want to do that. Well, I'm just gonna ruin your day." So
yeah, the screen just like slowly starts to go to black, like it's like I'm taking a nap. Yeah,
it like gets a little dark and then yeah, and look.
Well, just on the main screen, the list is still up. So if we're talking about it, it's not.
Yeah, we can see the list, and just like. In order, I think it kind of went like, I had it written down. I think I might have sent it the screenshot here. But yeah, I mean the list was pretty close, and Maddie is almost ready, so we'll have him on here. His beautiful voice.
I'm ecstatic to talk to Maddie about this.
I know. I can't wait. You were fired up, and I can't wait for you to start ripping in here.
I have my first name ready to go. I'm hammering into him on why the hell is this person on this list.
If I'm remembering correctly, didn't the screen just like randomly come back on after a little bit?
No, I turned it off. I unplugged everything.
Oh, you restarted it maybe? Yeah.
I don't know. People in the chat keep saying your camera's just overheating.
So yeah, a lot of stuff is overheating. It's today's definitely the hottest.
It starts with the computer because everything's hooked up to the computer and then like a control module. Yeah. Really high-tech stuff. Probably most of you guys wouldn't know about, but we're obviously don't know about it either.
And we do like the fan idea. Like like a fan would be good, except you guys would be listening to the fan and the microphone the whole time. So, and we've got this cool little like, it's called a pig hog, which is an interesting name that DJ Mateo sent to us, and it's like a little sound booth for your mic, which is great. It's just a little big. And then it's like kind of gets in the way. And then, yeah, you know.
So any donations, though, for just any sort of AC unit help.
Yeah. And then the AC unit wouldn't be in the house. We put it in the garage. Yeah. I mean, Doghouse Studios. Yeah. So, but yes, we are going to get Maddie on. And I am excited to hear what you have a little bit. And no, we don't have Stream Deck. We have OBS. So we're running OBS software, and this is a little refurbished MacBook Pro, it's running pretty smoothly until it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't use it for anything else.
Yeah, it literally sits in the garage, waiting for us to come in every Tuesday and say, "Please
don't work it too hard.
Please play with me."
Yeah.
It's also incredibly hot in here. So yeah. Anyway, I do want to see if, and again, I asked this a bunch, but I feel like this airplane Wi-Fi it blurry screen. So I do want to see again what other people think about your list there, and if there's anybody that got completely snubbed. Tell me about Aaron Smith.
Monster for the New Orleans Hurricanes.
Oh, there we go.
Obviously, they don't get talked about at all because they're brand new, but he plays a ton of points from them. He's, for the absolute lack of pro experience they have, he plays with a relatively cool head, you know, a bit of poise. He's a great athlete. They use him a lot on the snake side in an offensive role. Kind of for a team that at times can play a little slow, he's definitely the guy that keeps it moving. He honestly right now reminds me of where like Danny Schoenhauer was last year, where he was starting to make some noise kind of in terms of like, hey, this guy has talent, but just no one knows who the hell he is yet. Mm-hmm. So the reason I put him on my snub list, and it's the person I'm going to bring up with Maddie, is I think Connor Kelly...
Oh, well, hold on. You hold this thought because Maddie's ready.
Perfect. I'll hold my thought.
All right. So let's add people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right. So we're going to get Maddie Marshall here on the show. And, yep. And then we're going to push this little ring button. All right. So, okay, this is the person that you were. There we go. Hey, Maddie.
What's up, bro?
Oh, we're just,
This is debate show.
This is the debate show. This is Quinn's got a couple of questions.
And some quims. Some quims also.
And we are having a couple technical difficulties, possibly due to the heat.
But that way you get to look at us today.
Yeah, you get to look at us instead of the other way around.
Yeah, last time it was like, it's just me and Alex talking to each other on like a phone call with you guys in the background, just on like, piped in on some audio.
Yeah.
But,
now we're just doing a low budget podcast.
Yeah, low budget podcast.
Live.
Yeah, live. And the other beautiful thing about this, aside from you being able to see us, everybody can still hear you. And what we have pulled up on the screen is an overlay of the...
You can see it here, Maddie.
I just shared it to you, Maddie. I sent you a link.
All-Star game, or his All-Star
like my list
lineup. And then Quinn he did a pretty good job of like a first team, second team, third team. And then he's got a couple of picks that he slightly disagrees with.
Couple, I'd say like 10.
Some a little bit more. So, Maddie, can you explain, and we sent a link and talked to most people on here. They've seen the show, or most of them have seen the Go Sports show, or at least the majority of it, and have seen the picks. But explain to everybody, just in case someone is unsure of how the scoring system worked or how you made the All-Star team. Can you give everybody just a quick little rundown on how that happened?
Yeah, so Jason Trojan, the commissioner, was in charge of collecting all of the data. All of the owners and coaches were reached out to and had a vote. And then I also had a vote. And we had 5 tiers of 5 players each. The top tier, you would get 5 points. The bottom tier, you would get 1 point. And so each person would put in their 25 players into those tiers. And then everyone sent those votes to Jason. And Jason tallied them up. And then we took the top 38 guys and put them into teams. The coaches were decided by ranking. So you had Evan Brettauer as coach number 1 and Todd Martinez as coach 2, in addition to Joey Blute and Dave Baines from Impact and Damage. And then we just flipped Hormisa's black coin to figure out who was going to get first pick, and then we went back and forth. The caveats were that guys weren't able to pick their own dudes for three picks in a row. Other than that, that was how it was done. So, obviously having that many different people voting on it, there was like 109 players. I was actually trying to pull this email up from Jason, but I think there was like 109 different players that were chosen out of 200 something players. So, low 200s. That's a pretty broad distribution. I mean, that's half the dudes got at least 1 vote.
How deep of a criteria did you give for Because, like, that's kind of what we were talking earlier. It seems like the list is a weird mix of just, true blue chip kind of all-star guys, and then there's some guys who are maybe a bit more of a historical bias than what they've actually been doing lately.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely. I mean, if you're on a pro team or you're a pro player, I mean, it was basically we didn't. As far as I know, Jason didn't really say that. There was you had to have played this many points on a pro team or that specific type of bias. Because I mean, as we get into this, I don't really want to specifically say who I voted for. I will let be known a few. I mean, we did a good old-fashioned Australian ballot, which is like in old school. That's what they called Australian because those Australians were the first people to do it. But it was an anonymous ballot, which I mean, we could have just had the fans vote on it, but then it turns into a popularity contest.
Let's go. I think I got that one too.
I'm kind of anti. I mean, it's fun. I mean, yeah, that's one way to get the fans involved, but I think it takes a little bit of the purity out of it. And as a giant paintball nerd, but Quinn, people are always going to disagree with lists, as you well know. So,
I really think I was telling them earlier. I was all about it. It should have been a fan thing because to me, if this isn't going to be like, hey, this is the definitive, all NXL first team, the all NXL second team, and it's not that much like weight of seriousness. I think just make it purely fun and just have the fans vote and just go to town.
So you don't think so wait, hold on a second. You don't think that having the coaches, I mean, who the hell else are we going to have vote to make it authentic?
Just
if it's
fans.
Not the coaches.
Just have an open link. You can just go vote.
No, but my point is that if anyone should know who the fuck is good at paintball, it would be the coaches. Because I would hope to Christ that they're watching enough paintball to have a legitimate high-level, high paintball IQ, well-researched, understanding of who's actually good. And then obviously that's going to be an argument, in and obviously because it's definitely different. But I mean, I don't think we could possibly find, unless we somehow had the analytics of which pro players watched the most amount of paintball and had them vote up, but those dudes can't vote for themselves. So, other than that, my son's coming in. I'm sorry I cussed, son. I apologize. That's a bad word.
I do agree with Maddie Quinn. I don't think it should have been a fan vote, only because you're for sure not gonna get Aaron Smith on the list if that's the case.
Well, again, me personally, if I was doing this, I would say this should just purely be based off talent. We should pick like these specific 5 coaches to vote because I think half of them I can't trust in my mind. If we're going to go that way, I agree. Like, I'm cool with that. But I'm saying if we're going to do stuff like, again, putting people like Mark Johnson, Corey Field on this list, just make it fun at this point. Let the fans pick because obviously we're not looking at the same shit when we're watching these games. So,
yeah,
I will say though, Corey, just to give Corey a little help here with this, Shine. What Corey also does is massive paintball mind to the community. I know I see him at these WCPPL tournaments and he's coaching like 6 teams. So there's also, probably a little bit of respect as far as like knowledge of the game and other coaches that probably Corey Field has directly helped other coaches for betterment of their own teams. And that might be, why he's also getting votes from coaches as well.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I will definitely co-sign on giving props to Corey. Another thing too is that it's kind of like the baseball writers, decide who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and I think that's interesting because those guys literally make their living discussing and arguing over who are the best of the best ever and currently and et cetera, et cetera. So, since we haven't had an All-Star game in a while, I think that. And I was looking at this email that Jason sent me. So, yeah, there was 104 different players that received votes. 19 teams plus myself. I'm wondering who didn't put their vote in because there was a deadline for this. Yeah, that'll probably be it.
He didn't get the email.
You didn't get the email?
Must be in a spam box.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But
it's crazy, too, after getting second. Like, not a single person from that team made it.
Yeah. Well...
Yeah, Maddie, tell me you're talking about these guys that they're talking about. The Saints got second place. I don't see one Saint on this list.
Yeah, there's a few of the old Saints in here, though. and a couple of them went pretty high, and were in top tiers for some people. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I get it. Like if you take a Mark Johnson and a Corey Hall, especially when you're talking about like Corey Field, and we were just talking about the Saints, which is why Corey Hall was unlimited. He's not on the All-Star team in the All-Star game. Corey Field, though, as far as, and then we also had a bit of an expansion too, because I wanted to do the game. I'm still actually going to try to lobby for this. I don't know if this is still possible, but I would like to. I wish it was on Thursday. It just makes a lot more sense. For me, from my perspective, again, selfishly, if I put my Go Sports hat on, my paintball fan hat on, but I could see why some players would want to do it not on Thursday, whatever. Anyway, the different part of the conversation. But because it is going to be on Sunday, and it could be 100 billion degrees, could be surface in the sun hot in Chicago, and depending on who makes it to the finals, we can't make people play this game, so we had to kind of bulk it out a little bit and move it to 38, because initially it was going to be 30. So it was just going to be the top 30, but then we bulked it out to 38 because, again, I think there's 8 Dynasty players in here. There's 8 Dynasty players, 7 Impact players, 5 players from Heat, 4 from Damage, and then it kind of gets a little sparse after that. But, I mean, that's a lot of dudes, and rightfully so, from Dynasty, Impact, and Heat. So if we have, let's just say he had to fight, just hypothetically, he'd had to fight out of the wild card round. It's 105 degrees, and those dudes are dying. And then Impact and Dynasty go to play in the finals. That's a shit ton of dudes that we have that probably are going to play maybe a cursory 1 point and be there to fill pods and pat dudes on the back and be stoked to be an all-star, if we even get that out. Or maybe, I don't know. Alex Frazee did say that he's like, if I get on the all-star team, I'm playing full out, dude. So if you pick me, I'm playing 100% as often as I get spins. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. So yeah. So anyway, but just real quick to throw it back to you, because I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent before you guys can pipe in here. But is that with a Corey Field and a Mark Johnson, you got a lot. Who is voting for this? It's all the other coaches and the leaders. I will say that even though I love both Corey Field and Mark Johnson, I have a ton of respect for them. I had 25 spots to pick dudes, and I did not put Corey Field or Mark Johnson on my list, because even though I give them a ton of respect in what they've done, the dudes that I put on my list are the dudes that I saw having all-star level ability in the 3 events that we saw out there this year.
And that's my argument I'm making, why this pisses me off a little bit. I've been getting heated because I feel like half these coaches just did historical bias of like, oh, I know that guy. He's been around 10 years. He's real good. But like so, you're kind of saying, like, again, obviously Mark and Corey are good, but I think it's more important, like what we were doing earlier. You got to look at the void of this list. Like, again, how are you picking either of them over Callie or Joe Barrett or Colt or Axel or Smotrov? Like, it's obscene to me that Mark Johnson's on this list and Smotrov is not. Like, you know what I mean? Same way with...
that's okay. This is the whole reason we have
look at Joe.
Like
Joe is
for people to get passionate about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Joe, Kim, and Mesa are like the key reason that team is doing good. And Joe Barrett's not on this list.
Yeah, and actually, Mike Mesa was brought up here in the chat. I forgot who mentioned it, but there are a couple of people, because I want everybody to throw in on what you think. Because a lot of people, I think, do agree with the list to the most part, and we do see a couple of names in here that aren't in. But yeah, Infamous taking second place last year, only one of them makes the list. I kind of disagree with that, and I think that you did a good job of explaining that one.
Wait, hold on. Did somebody just say that they took second
last year,
but that only one of them's on the list for this
year?
I'm just saying that. Did I hear you say that sentence right?
Yeah. No, I'm just reading some comments here.
Cody and Harrison, that's 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Harrison's
I'm just saying. And again, I'm not going to tell another coach how to vote, but I am letting people know that the way I looked at this is that we are 3 events into this season. I mean, and let's just take Aftermath for instance. Since we have Aftermath on the discussion block currently. 4th place at the first event, 8th at the second event, and then 16th. They were terrible at the 3rd event. So we've had 3 events, and did Mike Mesa play well enough to make it on someone's list? Look, first of all, I get again ton of respect to Mike Mesa, and he had one really good tournament, but Mike didn't make my list because the dudes on my list had at least 2 good tournaments.
That's where I'm at with it. Like, you gotta be.
There are 200 pro players. 200. I get 25 votes, and five of those dudes. So it's like basically two of those tiers only get 2 or 1 point.
Right.
Again, it's your top tier gets 5 points, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. So that last 5 guys, they only get 1 point. So to me, I mean, it's like if I didn't actively see you whoop that ass out there this year, then you didn't get on my list, because that's who would be on my all-star team.
I mean, even now you're talking the points, man. Like, I almost even have a problem with that to an extent, because with this many people, it's easy enough for like 2 assholes to pick a guy at a first spot, and he gets 10 points, and he's basically in, right? Like, I mean, I don't know the discrepancy of like how many points one got versus 38, but I'm assuming like 38's not getting 50 points or something.
That I can definitely tell you. And by the way, if you guys haven't seen the show, definitely go and check it out. It's on the YouTube, Go Sports' YouTube right now. Mm-hmm. You can kind of see how this all went down.
And they have their production shit together way better than we do.
Well, we shot that show last week and made sure the graphics package was just, all tightened up and before we put it out. But it's all good. Life's fun. I like live. This is great. It's good we have all this.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
So it's great. Quinn does his thing. We got everyone doing their thing. It's amazing. This is healthy.
Yeah, and at the very bottom, at the very root of all this, at the bottom of it, like Callie's right. He commented in here, having the All-Star game is great for the game. It's great for conversation and adds some spice to the event. I personally love the idea of an All-Star game. I think it's fun. I think a lot of people get involved in it. Everybody gets excited about it. So this is cool. And then it's also followed by the weekend after is Team USA. We've got the U16 kids who are going to smoke everybody. We've got U19. We've got the women's. We've got the men's USA team. And then the Masters division, which I will be over there joining for as well, which I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Going
about.
Down in France.
In France, yeah. The weekend after. So we're doing All-Star game. We're doing NXL, Chicago Open. We're doing the final event. Is it the final event, the NXL Europe? I'm not sure about that. That could be wrong there. But.
Yeah, and there's a lot at stake there too. Actually, there's a lot of cool stuff happening right now, which everyone that we can. Hey, dude, I love disagreements. It's like when you posted and tagged me, and I'm like, debate? Hell yeah, let's have a good old-fashioned debate. I love this shit. But there's just a lot of cool stuff going on right now. Yeah, there's the event coming up this weekend up in Sacramento, which is going to be super hot. It's going to be 95 degrees out there, so that's going to be interesting to see who holds up in that. The Golden State Open, that's going down. And there's a lot to be decided there, because we're not really going to know how things are situated for the end of the season until the end of this event, because that's when really things really get settled out as to who at the bottom end could get relegated and who at the top end could be going for that series title. And then in Europe, the top 3 teams are coming over to play in the Champions Cup. So it's getting interesting. And then, all the Team USA against the world. It's cool, man. And then we got this All-Star game. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm excited.
Sure, 100%, man.
That is right.
So I have. Where do you guys want to take this? Because I have. If you guys want to continue to argue about whatever, just let me know. That's all we want.
Yeah. Arguing's fun.
I don't really feel like I'm agreeing with you in a lot of ways. I can't really. I mean, I'm not going to defend another coach's picks.
Well, I'm bringing up the one that, like, and I think you are a reason this is happening. Why is Connor Kelly in this game?
Why is Connor Kelly in there?
You're telling me.
You don't think Connor Kelly should be in the All-Star game?
I'm not saying this. I'm saying this, Maddie. This guy has had I'll give you 2 events where I'm like, this guy's looking good. You're not putting Smotrov or Axel on this list.
To be honest,
you're putting a 19-year-old with 2 good events on this list.
From what I have seen, and I think Smotrov's badass, but from what I've seen this year, I would 100%, if I had $100,000 on the line, $100,000, I would put Connor Kelly in over Smotrov right now. Smotrov, I'm sorry. I love you, but you are inconsistent as shit this year, okay?
Ooh, and in general, there you go.
Consistent. Dog, you are tripping if you think that Smotrov should be getting a start over Connor Kelly. Dude,
fine. Say we give you that. Say we give you Smotrov.
They play different positions, too, by the way. One plays the 1 and one plays the 2.
Well, I'm not swapping out positions. I'm just swapping out names that aren't on this list. Again, we'll keep going on the list. You're picking him over Axel on this list. I mean, Axel is both here and Europe, a monster.
I would pick Axel for sure.
Yeah, I picked Axel.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I would love to see the overall vote list to see, like, it amazes me no one put him higher.
I have the ultimate vote, the overall vote list in here. And I think that, I'm pretty sure, I don't think Axel's going to have a problem making it. I feel like there was something I heard. I think I don't think that was it. I'm not sure. But yeah.
I heard he had like an ankle thing at the one event, but he still played the whole event, so.
Yeah. I mean, Axel.
No, he didn't.
Like,
oh, he didn't?
Or, wait, sorry, Axel or Smotrov?
Axel.
Smotrov was injured also.
Yeah, I know he was.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I mean, continue. Like, the reason I have problems...
sorry, you go ahead.
I'm saying the reason I have problems with certain names on the list is there are people that absolutely, to me, are undeniable should have been on this list above that person. Again, like, because even that, I'm not hating on Connor Kelly. I obviously think he's solid, but I just think it's hard when you, again, I try to be recency biased with everything, but it's hard when you have no historical data, and I want to say, okay, we're going to go off these two events to judge this entire person. I mean, there's people that made it that I would absolutely throw off this list before Connor Kelly, like, in a heartbeat. There's 5 people I would take off this list before.
One thing I want to, One, I do want to hear the numbers that you have for Maddie, but 2, like, what are you gonna do after all these votes go in? You're like, sorry, that vote, we're gonna just cancel this person out.
You can't cancel someone out, but he's just trying to get a good explanation as to why. And yeah, there's another one.
I guess the explanation is, Quinn, that you need to call these coaches and ask them what they're thinking.
That could be a story.
That's what I said. I really honestly wish that the voting would have been more just like, we're taking these 6 coaches that we know are total dogs and they know their shit. And then not bringing these outliers in, you know?
So there we go.
Dude, I'll be honest, like, even say this. Skinny is clearly an undeniably sick coach. I bet you could name a couple people and he'd be like, I don't know who the hell that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can't deny that. He'll tell you that.
But he knows who the good guys are. What about, there's a good, how about the Zupa name that's floating around in there? I mean, Zupa, I'd put him over a bunch of these names in here. As he's had a pretty good season, too. Dude, Zupa's sick.
Zupa is sick. So here, again, we're going with a couple things. Is one, when we're mentioning names like Smotrov and Axel, and you were complaining, Quinn, that there's a little bit of legacy that seeped into this vote, where it should be more, what have you done for me lately? And that would be my argument. Not with Axel, because I felt like he's been very competent in the points that he's played for Impact this year. But I would argue that Smotrov has been highly inconsistent, and that even though legacy for the past 3 years, he's been, as far his top end, when he's on, he looks like John Wick out there, bro. He's running around doing stuff that physically most people can't do. It's a pleasure to watch as a fan. But he's just been super inconsistent, and that just is what it is. That's my opinion. Looking forward to getting stats back so we can have stats to back this up. But after watching and rewatching a lot of paintball that the Russians have played, the reason why they haven't really been excelling is because they're just getting kind of shit consistency out of their attackers, which then and then it's one of those situations where guys go out there and like, oh, we got to win this game. We haven't been here for a little bit, whatever. And the guys are over battling. Dudes are getting shot, and other guys are trying to pick it up. And I mean, that they just haven't had the consistent results that we've seen out of it. So I think that you're letting a little bit of what Smotrov has done in the past seep into you wanting Smotrov to be on this list. I feel like there's a reason why a lot of people didn't put him on their list.
I'm a big believer that Smotrov's, it's a system thing with him, man. Like, I really think the reason his inconsistencies have come up is because when Russian Legion stopped being the dominator squad in like 2019, end of the season, I think they changed the system up and put way too much weight on Smotrov to have success through him. And I think it's, again, still as a young player, it must be hard to live across the field at Malloy and you see the shit he's doing and then you're trying to match that intensity. I think it can mess with it. Like, I feel like if you put Smotrov on like Impact, Heat, Dynasty, like a top team, he would be undeniably probably the best player in the league.
Half the time that Malloy does crazy shit is when Smotrov dies from the 50, because they typically plays the 2 behind Smotrov. So it's not like he's looking across the field at Malloy going off unless the D side dies and Malloy has to Malloy his way on over to the D side and then shoot 3 dudes. Typically he's having to step up when Smotrov catches the ball at the 50 after he slid in there looking like, a Greek god and God's gift to the game, and then catches the ball from over battling, which is a problem for him, Again, love Smoke Drop. I like that kid, but...
We developed a pretty killer drill for that. Actually, we didn't even develop it, Maddie. I think it's a drill from back in your guys' day before airball and stuff like that. The attack the 50 drill. That's something that we did.
Attack the 50.
Yeah.
We've been doing that drill for like 25 years.
Yeah,
we had that drill in the woods.
And that is the reason for that drill right there. Yeah. Callie's got a couple of good ideas, but he's saying it should be a player vote, but I just don't know that you're going to get the players to participate enough. And I don't know how the counting of the votes worked exactly. Did Jason just have to go through there by hand and pick all? Well, how many people voted?
It's hard enough to get 20 people to do it. Imagine getting 200 people to do it.
Right. So it was an
now
owner.
That's your job next year. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You now have that's your job.
Yeah, it's Callie's job. You got to design and run everything in Infamous, and then also count all the votes from all 200 guys. Now, was it the owner and coach from each team, or was it?
I think that. No, it was
like Bart and Dave each got to vote, or
there were 20 votes total, 19 including 19, and then 20 including myself.
Okay.
So the owner and the coach, they got to
do one vote.
Talk and get one set of 25 names in with the 5 different tiers.
Got it. Okay.
Let me ask you a question to change the pace a bit too, Maddie, because I thought this idea made sense with coaches. I would have much rather liked to see the top 2 coaches got picked. And then they picked like 2 rising star coaches as like essentially the assistant coach, whatever the other guy is. Because I think it'd be interesting to see like Mike from the Hurricanes, because he's a good coach.
Mike is great. Yeah, super smart. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, I think it would at least add a little extra level of interest. Because we know what Joey Blute has. We've seen him for 20 years. Like we've seen Dave for 20 years. Like we know these guys are elite level coaches. Like I think it'd be cool to kind of mix in these younger guys. To almost get... I mean, on that count, too, like, I'm not saying that would help their team, but, I mean, it has to help for a coach like that to suddenly be around a team full of all-stars versus, like, hey, these are my guys I brought up from Division 4, you know what I mean? You get a little bit more of a taste of what that is. You get to see a guy like Todd coach, live with the roster alongside you. I think that would be a good way to honestly help develop coaches and add, like, an extra kicker.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, I don't see why that couldn't get changed for next year. I think it was just done this year as kind of it's one of those things that's just like, hey, everyone want to do an all-star game? Everyone's like, hell yeah, we want to do an all-star game. All right, well, what do we need to do to actually make that a reality? And then you just start dotting I's and crossing T's as quick as possible because, like we just talked about, there's all these other things going on too. And then, we get their votes in. And yeah, sure, we could do a player vote next year, but that is a logistical, possibly very frustrating activity to have to herd cats and wrangle 200 different people to vote, or you just put a solid deadline on it. But even just to gather that information and crunch those numbers is going to be a pain in the ass. But hey, Callie, you nominated yourself for the job, so I think that's going to be.
I think one of the other viewers, Molly Gohard, might be able to help with all this. Seems like he's got a lot of spare time here in the chat. He's really high on Tom Cole.
I mean, this guy's starting Tom Cole, Mike Hinman, and God knows who else on his all-time team.
Oh, wait, did we just switch gears into all-time team right now, or what, are we?
No, but we do have the Hall of Icons coming out.
Blowing up the chat. Every other comment is screaming for Tom Cole's legendary status, and he should be on this roster.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Damian Ryan.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Damian Ryan, especially judging from the icon that he has. It could be his NFT face, but hey, stoked to have you.
Can we jig might be up. A fast-paced back and forth with me and Maddie. Can I give Maddie my list of snubs and just get a yes or no?
Yeah. Hit the lightning round.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Callie Rudolph.
Hold on. So I get to... I just got a text from Callie. He's like, no. Brother, you just set yourself up for this job.
Yeah.
He's not. He's got kids and too much to do. Anyway, yeah, sure. I mean, it's going to be hard as a very loquacious and verbose I'm loud, like my wife always tells me, and I talk too much. Been hearing forever. So it's going to be really hard for me to just say yes or no. but I'll do my very best.
Well, just know, if you say no to somebody that I said yes to,
We're going to have an argument.
Kyle Rudolph, is he a snub?
I think he is, but the thing is that, he's also been very in and out. I mean, I feel that when he's in, he's undoubtedly such an important part and an all-star. And, but the problem with, I would say, yes, snub. But again, I'm sorry, it's long-winded here. My bad. Continue. I'm guess on Cali.
Colt Roberts.
Ooh, again, hasn't really been here all that much. But yeah, that's a snub for sure, 100%. But the X Factor's been trash this year, and Colt hasn't been there every single event.
Yeah, I was getting some shit from some of those guys where I power ranked them. I'm like, you guys are terrible the first two events.
Trash the first two events. Awesome the second, third event. Awesome the second.
And amazingly, with half their roster gone and like 6 guys running full speed.
Incredibly impressive. But I could see why some of the, Cali and Colt are snubs, and I think they should be on this list. The problem is, again, you only get 25 dudes to pick with, and X Factor was not great at the beginning of the year, and he hasn't really been here the entire year, so that's a problem.
Yeah. Joe Barrett, was he a snub? For the 8th overall team in the NXL right now is their unquestioned guy.
Yeah, but that's a tough one for me. Joe played absolutely his best paintball ever at one event, which helped them do very well at that event, but then they put other dudes in that position, and we haven't seen him play to that level yet, so I would say not a snub, to be honest. One event does not an all-star make. Unless you go out and win the MVP, if you go off and win the MVP, then yeah, sure, maybe we could have that conversation, but I do agree that when you look at both Frank and Thomas Kim, to me, they're above. They made my all-star team. I put both Frank and Thomas Kim in my top 25. I'll let that.
I'm on the same boat. I liked Thomas Kim as a player last year, but you were the one that really started talking about him, and I really started watching. I'm like, man, this fucking guy is sick.
Thomas Kim's really good, man.
Yeah, and he's underrated. I mean, people were talking in the chat earlier. They thought he shouldn't be even high as he was on this list I put together, which
it was. So we can get into the as Kyle, you had mentioned. I'll get into these numbers of how many votes were picked, how many votes each guy got.
Yeah.
But what was interesting was that if you're looking at the overall list, and this is, I think, just because Thomas Kim was one of the last guys picked out of the top. I think he was the last guy picked. Again, the show went by very quickly. I can't remember. Don't quote me on this. Again, go check out the show on Go Sports' YouTube. But if you haven't seen it already. But Thomas Kim was one of the last dudes picked from the coaches. He was 15th overall. Thomas Kim had 38 total votes. And that was good for 15th overall. And so, yeah, but it took him a while to get picked. I mean, guys are going back and forth. They were picking dudes ranked way lower on these overall vote totals.
Well, Maddie, if I remember correctly, I believe that we had talked about getting someone else. I think he went a little earlier than that because I was still on the chat back when we picked TK, and
you guys got him at. Oh yeah, okay. So I have that list. So I have the list. Here it is. I have this other list.
I think he was
Thomas Kim is in the top 12.
Just so real quick, Thomas Kim was ranked 15th overall. But he went with the 24th pick.
Yes.
I guess you could say the
24th?
Yeah, he went way past. We went way by him.
Hold on, but the 22nd pick really because Ryan and Tyler are already on their teams, which is also fun. Because
you think that's too far down, Quinn?
That's obscenely too far down.
But there's 40, almost 40 picks. So.
Team and Dalton is off the board and Fed's off the board already. I'm looking pretty hard at Thomas Kim as my guy on the green.
Well, so and that's the thing is so he was picked on our team and we had Dalton, Fed, Brandon Cornell, Justin Cornell, and then we picked Thomas Kim. That's why I was like
both the Cornells before him.
Yeah.
No, just
yeah. We Maddie, we just went back. We're going through it right now. So it was.
No, you're right. Yeah,
on Todd's team: Archie, Billy, Mishka, Keith, Malloy, Brandon Cornell, Dalton, Justin Cornell, Fedorov.
In order, though.
It goes down this way.
I'm just saying, so Thomas is last out of those guys.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. So just real quick, both Cornells. So Justin Cornell went as the 8th pick for Team Martinez, and then, but really 7th pick because Ryan's already on the team. So I'll just always refer to it as, Ryan's already on the team. So it was really their 7th pick. And then Brandon Cornell went as their 10th pick, and Thomas went as their 11th pick. So, and that's all Team Martinez.
I'm amazed Brandon Cornell was picked before Thomas Kim. I mean, Thomas Kim is really good at multiple things. And
okay, here's the thing, right? So, yes, if I'm going to just vote for who I think should be in the All-Star team, then I'm going to vote for what have you done for me lately. I'm going to heavily weigh what I saw this year because that's how I think an All-Star game should be. And that's my opinion. Again, I'm just one of the people voting. But once the squads are laid out for me to pick from, oh, you best believe I'm like Legacy has a big part of that, those picks. Like I'm not just going to be picking my teams because I think Thomas Kim has had a better year than Brandon Cornell, or that I think he's a better threat over there, which I actually don't. I think Brandon Cornell and Thomas Kim, in my mind, are about equal as far as, if I had to put $100,000 on a game, I mean, it would be really tough for me.
You're going to lose that $100,000 on a minor penalty.
Brandon does get. That's a good point, brother. That's a good point. Brandon, we love you, dog, but you gotta cut the penalties off, dude.
Wait, Brandon Cornell?
You're a good dude, and you get some random penalties for some reason.
Wait, Brandon Cornell?
Brandon Cornell.
Oh wow, he gets a lot of penalties, huh?
They had arguably an event that was dropped on 2 penalties in 1 match.
Yeah, and last year he got some penalties too. I mean, he catches some random penalties. So I don't know. I don't really think that he's a huge cheater, but he definitely gets his fair share of penalties. Maybe just getting some bad luck. But he's a hell of a paintball player, man. I saw him I think it was at the Philly event, and ran into him at the bar, and he was just, he's definitely, it's fun to talk to Brandon because he's been playing paintball for so long. So I love talking shop with dudes that have such a high paintball IQ that we're not just talking about X's and O's bullshit and go here and do this and that. Just like really vanilla, boring ass paintball talk. Because, we have those conversations all the time. We had a very high-level talk, Brandon and I, and to the point where my dinner was getting cold. I come over there back to the dinner, and the Go Sports dudes were like, Jesus Christ, man, that took forever. And I was like, well, that was a good conversation, man. I couldn't leave that one. That was worth me eating this cold shepherd's pie.
What did you eat that night?
A shepherd's pie at an Irish pub. It was delicious.
Yeah, but once it gets cold, it starts getting a little coagulated and
a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta eat warm shepherd's pie. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll get back to the snubness in a second, but even just talking about these kind of people that I felt like shouldn't have been involved, that's kind of why I asked you about criteria, because to me, I think something like this, I think there needs to be a kind of like what we did for the Iconic Awards. There needs to be a bulleted list of criteria of judges, this is what I want. This is what the point of looking at this is. We don't care about your name, what you did 10 years ago. This is the things. I feel like this list, there was nothing where they said, hey, we don't give a shit what this guy did 10 years ago. What has he done this year?
What do you think?
Come on, bros! You can't see me, huh?
I mean, we can see you.
What do you think, Alex?
We got Alex on
Dude,
now.
if we had 5 Ryan Greenspans, we'd never lose, bro.
Agreed.
Dude, listen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, actually. So I was just talking to Roman, who works here in the other room with me, and he's telling me that Ryan Greenspan taught him how to juggle at summer camp. Which Ryan is a fantastic juggler.
Yeah.
So
Did you see my video of me juggling the 5-gallon water bottles?
I was trying to juggle boxes, and he's like, dude, Ryan Greenspan taught me how to juggle. I'm like, yeah, he juggles these nuts all the time.
I'm not trying to juggle your nuts, but Ryan, I'll have a juggle off with you anytime that you want.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
all right.
I just want to say this All-Star thing, I have no business being in this game.
Bro, you got picked in the top 10.
Yeah.
Get out of here, bro. You had MVP last year. I mean, come on, Alex, dude.
I mean,
Listen,
to me,
I just am like, put me somewhere close to Ryan on the field so I'm in the background of the pictures.
no, man, to me, you make sense on this list just because if you talk purely counter-punch skill, it's hard to find someone above you. And on a roster like this, having a dude that does that against this caliber of people is huge.
I will eat my hat if I do not bunker somebody in this game.
I'm going to hold you to that.
You definitely bunkered somebody in the last All-Star, the Team Frazee versus Team Moorhead when we beat you guys.
And then JR
I was on
bunkered him
Team
on
Moorhead.
his fourth.
Yeah, I bunkered a guy and then I shot my own guy.
But you did get your bunker on. So
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you were getting after it.
But yeah, I appreciate this list here, Quinn. I do think that Kirill certainly. Here's the problem: you look at this list, and typically an All-Star game is based on people's performance in that year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if that was prefaced before the coaches selected or whoever made this list selected the list, but that's a critical piece of information. Whether we're deciding off of who's better player or who's a better player this year, right? So you can say, yes, Billy Bernaccia is a better player historically than, say, I mean, this is just hypothetically, or Axel, right? But this year, Axel's better than Billy because of circumstance or whatever. So if you're looking at this year versus, what are you laughing at, Ryan?
Just the comments, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not your commentary. The comments.
Keep going.
You're doing a good job, dude. This
Good
is
enough. Yeah, keep it going.
You're doing this the entire show. Just get used to it, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So you hear what I'm saying about that, right? So first, I feel like this is the problem with our political climate today. We can't agree on apples and oranges, right? So what are the criteria here that we're talking about? Is it great? Is it best player available or best player this year?
That's what I'm saying. It should just be this year only. And if you didn't play in the event, like that has to hit, like the same way when we did the awards.
Yeah, but
like,
Quinn,
you
if
miss
it's
an
this
event,
year
that's
only,
just-
if it's this year only, Connor Kelly belongs in.
That's my point.
Booyah.
No, all I'm saying is this. My argument with Connor Kelly is there's like 3 or 4 people I would put in if I had to pull someone off the list, it'd be him, but there is probably 5 other people.
Yeah, but if you're talking about Samotrop or Connor Kelly based on this year's performance, it's no doubt Connor Kelly.
No doubt.
Wow.
Maybe,
Interesting.
but
No.
Connor Kelly, I still feel has a little hype there. I think I need more data on him and more.
I'll tell you some data on him. I played against him in the Doritos. I give you some data on him right now. I played against him in the Doritos. I have my right hand. This is the right hand of God right here.
Yeah.
Right on the paintball field. And I was battling him down the tape in the Doritos, and he worked me out like a child. And I was like, I remember after the game, I'm like, who are you? How old are you? He's like, I don't know, 14 or something. I'm like, anyway, that's how I feel about him. And this year he's been performing. I mean, a lot of those ML Kings guys have, but
They made 4 Sundays in a row.
Yeah.
They made every Sunday this year. Now
And they landed
they
exactly.
yet to get out of
And
Sunday.
like, look, if you're talking about, I love Corey. He's my ace, man. Like Corey is my ace. But if you're talking about performances this year, Corey doesn't belong on the list. I can't say I do either. I missed the whole tournament. You know, I had a good first tournament, and I didn't play in the second tournament. So
Yeah, but you're eggy.
that's true. I'm not going to discount that. I am egg. Yeah, I mean, I will lead the team. I will take this team, and we're gonna crush. That's all.
He who possesses the right hand of God, supple and smooth, over lotioned.
I do. I don't type with it.
I wear a glove most days.
we didn't get a chance to finish Maddie's fast fire. Alex can throw his opinion in too now that he's
Yeah, hit it.
Hey, keep it going.
Hit me with a couple
I mean,
more.
next one, Kirill Pridney.
That is not a snub for this year. Not a snub. I love Kirill, and he's an all-star, but he's not an all-star in 2022.
I kind of agree with that, dude. I mean, Kirill is a legend of the game. I mean, he's a master.
Legend.
He's a leader. He's a great player. He's still super relevant. I mean, the guy crushes. But yeah, I mean, this year, I don't know, right?
Not an all-star. You get 25 picks. You're going to put Kirill or Smotrop in there? Dude, I don't think so. Not on
That's
my
why.
list.
But I mean, if we're talking about all time or even in the recent past,
yeah, yeah.
then he does belong. Then he does belong.
But the way I looked at this, and honestly, the way I did my picks is I knew that there was going to be a lot of legacy in these picks, which I'm cool with. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of legacy. I wouldn't do my goddamn job. I love legacy. I try to extend the legacy and keep us away from our second deaths as long as possible. But there's some guys that just like the fact that not enough people know who Connor Kelly is a shame, you know. And then you get guys like Joey Blute on there who's from Florida, and you go watch the show and you'll see. And we're bringing this up, and they're like, he's like, oh, I know how good Connor. Like, it's not going to shock anyone if Connor gets a cash offer from Damage next year and ends up on Damage and becomes an all-star playing for them. Like
I don't
that's,
know, man.
that's
I'm
probably going to
just
happen.
something that sticks out to me about these two lists is I'm looking at it now, and it just seems like Skinny Kevin's team is just garbage. Like, I'm going over.
Hold on a second.
Where are the playmakers over there?
Exactly. I know. They had a horrible draft.
Alex Goldman. Yeah, come on, get in there.
I mean, Ryan, that was the
Marcelo
first thing I
Margot.
said to you when I called you. I said, what the hell is this team you're playing? You're going to destroy them.
Yeah, I agree.
Shut up. Why
I
did
mean,
it not
dude,
an old Expo?
Look at our team. Archie Montemayor, Dalton Vanderbilt, Constantine Betteroff. Come on, dude. Dude, Ryan Greenspan, get out of here, dude. Please. Talk to me.
I mean, you can start the 5 dynasty guys on your team, and you'll wreck that team.
I do see. Here's what I see on these two teams, though. Just look at this, though, Maddie.
No, Alex doesn't get to talk a lot at home. Let him have his time.
Listen, dude, my wife doesn't listen to me, so I hope you guys do. Listen,
I'm sorry, what was that?
Skinny's team is full of mostly steady hands, and our team is full of playmakers.
Margaret needs to go do the dishes. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
Kimmy, out, dude.
Keep it going. I want to hear you, Alex.
Canceled, Matt. You just got canceled, bro. Maddie just canceled himself.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish up your thought. My bad.
Skinny's team is full of great players, but not a lot of like huge move makers, right? I feel like
that's it.
We have way more wild cards on our team that are gonna bust it. Okay? They have more steady hands.
I mean, I agree. Look at what I'm calling is what I think is the first team All NXL for Team Martinez. You somehow dig Billy out of Snake. Okay, well Archie's behind him. Okay, you somehow dug Fedorov out of the Brewer side. Well, Dog's behind him. Somehow you killed all of that. Well, fucking Ryan and still hanging out the back.
Hey, there's a decent chance that what's going to happen is that Brett Thauer versus Team Martinez, if Dynasty and Impact or Dynasty and Heat make the finals, then we're going to see Dynasty players go out and play their cursory 1 point, and then the 8 of them will walk off and not play one more point.
Except for Alex.
And we're going to get deep into this, and then it's going to be the and who knows? I don't know who's going to make the finals at this. Again, this is in Chicago. This is not in. And probably, thank God. I don't know. It could be 95 degrees in Chicago too. But that's why we have the teams as deep as they do. So I don't know. That's why to me it's going to get really interesting because if this wasn't a legit game where these dudes could play, like we were looking at this. Okay, well, who do we really think is going to get a lot of spins out here? But this is going to be a mixed mash of tons of guys getting out there and playing. I don't even know. I have no idea what these starting lineups are going to look like. Todd says he's going to go
starters.
With Todd and the coaches do. So you got Todd and Dave. So Dave Baines and Tom Martinez, and Todd's been talking about going with 3 lines, and then you got Skinny Kevin and Joey Blue, and I don't really know exactly what his plans are, but I do know that Alex Frazee said he's going to play every single point, if required. So
I'm going balls to the wall, no matter what.
Yeah, shirtless. So line 3 on Martinez' team is going to be Justin Cornell, Alex Frazee, Corey Field, Stephen Omar, and Frank Antetomaso, all shirtless.
Dude, don't tempt me, bro.
Hey, not to interrupt here. Caitlin Large just said something in the comment. Is Skinny Kevin just out thinking all of us? Did he just pick his team because he knows all of Dynasty is not going to play this, more than 1 point?
Well, no, because he would have let them all be on the other team.
He is. We're all on this.
Well, no, I mean, not everyone. He picked Marcelo, Blake, and Mike.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, I've been playing fantasy football in the league with Kevin for 12 years, and he does not know what he's doing when it comes to this. I'll take one up, Gronkowski. Yeah, he's retired, bro. Ryan knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump back in. Harris Hussein, was he a snub?
I mean, look, he's a snub. He's a snub.
They haven't made Sunday.
Yeah, I know that this year. I'm just let me finish my statement. He's a snub if we're talking about all time, like how he performed in the past couple seasons.
Yes.
But for this season, no, it's not a snub. Where's he at this year, right?
I'm throwing in the asterisk that every single time when I answer yes or no if it's a snub, it is completely contingent upon what have you done in 2022. In the 3 events that we've seen you play,
Okay.
That's what I'm taking the measurement by. Yes, Harris Hussein is a quote-unquote all-star if we go back to the entire legacy of New York Extreme.
Yeah, but if that's the criteria, then how come I'm on the list?
Because you're Alex Frazee, and we
All
can't
right,
really,
fine.
you just can't be contained, son. That's why.
So, okay, the reason I put someone like Harrison in my snubs, because I feel like some of these picks in this thing are very socially and historically based. So if we're just going to do that, I mean, put the fucking money man in that's going to make this fun. You know what I mean?
Hey, dude, that's a very, these are all logical questions. I'm glad you're here to ask them. And yeah, no, for sure. It's, but that's kind of, again, that's the issue, right? Is that what does an all-star game mean? I mean, does it, and to each person that's making the vote, it's going to be a little bit different. If the fans make the vote, then it's going to be a popularity contest. If the coaches make the vote, then it's going to be both a legacy contest and a what have you done for me lately contest. But if we pick like the six coaches that have their finger on the pulse and watch the most amount of paintball, and again, the picks that I made, it was literally just what I saw in the first three events. So I got the MVPs in there, I got the guys that were standouts, like that's it. It had nothing to do with legacy, it had nothing to do with what you did years ago. It was almost solely just what have we seen in the first three events for the 2022 All-Star Game. And we have a whole event coming up, but we couldn't vote on that, so.
I think it should be based on how many Instagram followers you have.
100%.
Yeah, there we go. We are trying to hashtag Girl Paintball.
Dude, Ryan would still be number one. Oh, to me.
Mark Crescent and Bear would be the captains.
Bear and Marky will be the captains.
I would watch that.
They are neither one of those guys are on a pro roster, so they're not in the vote. But I would watch that still.
But actually, now that we're talking about that, how do we get a side hustle going on at World Cup to get LaSoya, Bear, Marky, the celebrities of paintball, all playing in some sort of Thunderdome?
Put them on the roster, baby.
So it's like the Rock and Jock paintball.
Yeah, Rock and Jock.
It's like
just buy like 5 cases of beer. You're set.
Yeah.
Be there.
Can we get any D-list celebrity that has ever picked up a paintball gun to be there? And then of course, like all the paintball celebrities, they go out and play like a good old fashioned.
We'll get Reaper out there.
Get that random ESPN guy that co-commentated with you 15 years ago, like
Chase. Yeah.
Get him out there
for sure. Yeah, the guy who did ski jumping in the Olympics.
Yeah, Chase Worthington. Yeah,
I liked him. He was a guy. Yeah, we drank tough at a bar one time in 2005 in New York. He was dope.
Verbal said he'll play in the Doofus game, and actually that could be what it'd be called, is the Doofus game.
Doofus game.
Maybe I'll sponsor that this year. The iconic
Doofus game.
On the side field in the parking lot.
We laid down some turf over the asphalt over here.
All right, next one. Kyle Berry, was he a snub?
Dude, that's a snub, bro. Like Kyle Berry's. Here's the issue though: is that how many ML Kings? There's 4. There's 4 ML Kings players that have really helped them make 4 Sundays in a row. And just like any team we're going to talk about, you can't take away anything from the other guys. But I mean, Louis Betancourt, Connor Kelly, Carter Donaldson, and Kyle Berry have really helped carry that team and put them into 4 Sundays in a row. For an up-and-coming squad, it's hyper impressive. 3 in a row this year. They just have yet to make it out of a Sunday morning. Maybe that time's coming. Maybe not. Maybe they'll catch them, maybe they'll get unlucky and people will figure them out and they won't make Sundays the rest of the year. Have no idea. But you could make an argument that Kyle Berry that's a snub. Yeah, dude, just coming back from what we saw in Europe, and obviously that doesn't go into the equation. But he had arguably the best move of the tournament. So yeah,
and based on that, I'm just sorry to get off of Kyle Berry, but I'm looking at your list here. Joe Barrett had such a great tournament in Orlando, that first tournament. I mean, based on that, he deserves to be in here. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't really speak to Kyle Berry. All I can because I haven't really studied him this year, but I can say, he's kind of like the cornerstone of their team, and they've been performing great.
He's a great-looking guy, too.
Yeah, he is devastatingly good-looking. Great hair.
With that all-star face.
Yeah. It's not as tall.
No, dude, this is an all-star face, bro. This is football.
Yeah, this is where it is.
Ryan knows.
Yeah,
all right, next one, because I felt like I saw this comment a lot leading up to the show. Dizon, snub or not?
Not. Great player, but this year, I don't even think they used him Todd didn't even use him very much.
He used him a little. He used him a lot more. He's used him enough that I could see that being part of the conversation.
About to get used a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was that?
He's about to get used a whole lot. I heard some people are going to be at some of these events the rest of the season for them.
Hey Ryan, you could screen record this and then add it in later.
Juice, dude. Let's hear the juice.
I mean, I heard from more than a few people that Fetty might not be around at events.
Well, why?
Well, shit, we have him on our team.
Because he can't get out of Europe or doesn't want to do it
That's the
anymore?
rumors I hear. I just keep my ear to the ground. I've heard that from 3 or 4 people now that's going to be an issue.
Shit, dude. Ryan, we need a replacement. Call your mom, bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
Allegedly.
Ryan, bro, I played
Pick up
paintball
your
this weekend.
allegedly shirts at SPICKNSPAN.com.
Yeah,
I got mine on right now, but you can't see it.
yeah.
Dude, I played paintball this weekend. It was not pretty, bro.
Like, you're not very good anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got that one nice shot. That one nice
Yeah.
shot on Yosh.
I see all the moves in my mind, and my body won't make them.
Dude, too much R&R at the Hormesis warehouse. You need to get back to work, bro.
Well,
R&R,
good
dude,
thing
it's all
this
good.
tournament's
All you
gonna
can
be
do
on
is
turf. This tournament's gonna be on turf. You could probably get away with rollerblades.
Get backwards.
Yeah.
Get backwards to the 50.
All right, next up, Brian Smith. Let's see a snub.
I mean, you can make that. Anyone that's on damage that didn't make this list, you could argue that they're a snub because they won an event and they all played well because they ran two lines. So, sure.
Should he have been in over Jacob or Jason Edwards?
Over Jason Edwards? I don't know, man. If you look at Jason Edwards, I went down and talked to every single one of those guys at the end of that tournament that they won, and I asked them who should get the overall MVP, and almost all of them said Jason. Now, maybe they just said that, but, I mean, he played well enough for them to categorically agree that he should get the overall MVP. And if you're going to get the overall MVP at an event that a team wins and hasn't won one in 10 years, I mean, that's...
Yeah, you almost
argue,
get it.
Tough to argue against, dude. Tough to argue against.
For sure. Matt Jackson.
Obviously another situation where, all-star, duh, but, Impact plays a lot of different guys. Matt gets a lot of spins. It is actually a little shocking that he didn't end up on this list overall.
Especially with Zach Yakimek on the list. How the hell does he make it over Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know. Zach, in the spins that Zach looked very polished in the spins that he got coming back to the team. And he's a former MVP award winner. Again, I'm not trying to give too much credence to what you did in the past, but just what we've seen most recently. And he was gone for quite a bit, whereas Matt was holding it down. So, yeah, no, I can see that. Again, I feel like that's maybe more of a legacy pick. But again, Zach did get some good spins out there. But yeah, Matt's been really solid for them. I mean, Impact's doing really well this year, but they're getting a lot. It's just tough at Impact because they are getting so many different guys, different spins. Maybe you could speak to that, Kyle. I mean, you were on that team not too long ago. I mean, talk a little bit about.
Zach's a pretty steady hand. Just a side thought. Also, I was just thinking about too. I almost would have put Silos in this conversation after his performance at the first event.
Right. I was thinking about him.
We honestly wouldn't have gotten as far as we did in that tournament if Silos didn't step up and play a side that he didn't even play.
Yeah, 100%.
In any of the practices, he only played the snake side, and he said, "I can get it done on the Dorito side," and stepped up and helped us get to the finals match. So, sorry, that was just a side thought I had.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I put Silos in here, in the conversation
for this year.
Silos or Mark Johnson? Quinn?
Is that even a question?
Dude, Mark Johnson
Come
caught us
on,
in
man.
that one tournament.
That is okay. I'll say this. That confuses the fuck out of me. It doesn't make sense if you have historical bias. It doesn't make sense if you have social bias. It doesn't make sense if you use recency bias. There's no metric where I'm like, this guy should be in this over these 20 other people.
I have the bias for you. The bias is that everyone that voted on this was a coach or an owner. So the fact that we go to the overall vote totals.
Let me ask you, Maddie. Before the votes took place, was there a criteria that you gave to the coaches, or were you just like, okay, all stars, here's your pick?
Well, the criteria was given by Jason Trozen, our commissioner, and the criteria given to me was, hey, Maddie, you're picking the all-star team. You have 5 different tiers. You get 25 total picks. You have 5 dudes per tier, and it's 5 points to 1 point.
Okay, fine. Then the conversation isn't this year. The conversation is whatever. These are the guys you want on the team for whatever reason. You know, whether they're a legendary player, whether they're hot right now, whether they're a social butterfly, whether they're, your friend.
If you look at it, so where is it? Mark Johnson. So at the very bottom of if we just go through and see like overall point totals, I mean, the top vote getters it was pretty robust as far as how many points. If we're looking at, so the top, you got Ryan Greenspan getting 77 total votes. And you got Tyler Harmon with 75, so just 2 behind Ryan. Archie at 69, Mouse at 68, Chad George at 59, Jacob Edwards at 57, Rainey at 54. Now that's interesting because Rainey didn't have the best event for X Factor at the last event, even though they played really well, and he's been injured. But it's just, I think, if you give these dudes that have been watching paintball for a while and
that's paintball mind, paintball IQ
it's that paintball IQ.
highest.
So it's like if Rainey's healthy, it's hard to not put him on an all-star list because the dude has literally been going to war for whatever team he's played for and been like in the conversation for MVPs, like literally every single event that he's been healthy. So it's like, is he healthy? He's healthy. Oh shit, you got to put him on the list. So I could see. So anyway, if we go all the way down to where Mark Johnson is. Mark Johnson is beloved. Everyone loves Mark Johnson, and rightfully so. He's a solid dude. He won the one-on-one for like the over 40s. He's in his 40s. He's still getting it done. And he's the reason that AC Diesel exists. So I could see why he got 12 votes. I mean, and he's tied with Mike Urena. So it's like you got a young up-and-coming lion like Mike Urena, who on paper is definitely much more of a threat than Mark. He's half his age, and obviously they play different positions, kind of, but still.
Dude, Mike Urena is so dope.
Yeah,
you have no idea how dope Mike Urena is.
Oh no, I definitely have watched.
You don't know.
How do I not know?
You just don't know, bro. You just don't. I'm telling you don't.
He watches every.
You're right. I know. My bad, dog. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you one thing about this list right here.
Mikey!
I will take Yosh Rao over 18 of these 19 guys, other than myself.
That's an interesting argument, but yeah, hell yeah, dude, of course. Yeah, Yosh is dope. We love Yosh. He's also
I'll tell you this. If I'm picking one guy to go in a one-on-one situation, I'm picking Yosh off our team.
On your team?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost picked Mikey.
He's probably up there with like any team. He might be the guy. I don't know. I like Cody. If my life depended on it, I'd probably pick Cody Mikowski to defend my life. Like in a one-on-one, he's my guy that I'm
Cody Minkowski or Markowski? You gotta get
Cody
right
Mikowski
to defend your life. Oh, okay, Minkowski.
If it's one-on-one, I'm probably taking him. Like I feel my chances are better than 50%.
In the entire league?
The whole league.
I think so. Yeah.
It's a tall order there.
He did win that one. He won it.
He won a one-on-one, so it's not like he hasn't done it before.
Dude, that's one of my most like visceral memories of recent years is watching that game.
The Chicago one he won?
When he played that one-on-one, I don't even remember who he was playing, but what I remember is Sam, his wife, up on top of the Infamous trailer, going insane when he won. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
And he won Ultimate Shootout, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the
he's good.
Like,
he's in here, right?
Yeah.
He's on the losing team.
But the event he's talking about is the Chicago event. The best part about that with Cody, and it's why I would pick him, is when it came to the one-on-one, they literally did not talk in the pits. Like, it was just known he's going out. And that's why I picked that guy. Like, there's not even a fucking argument. It's just, he's the guy. I mean, it's like when Oliver of like the 2010s. Like, there's not even an argument. He's just the guy. He's going out in the one-on-one. You know what I mean? All right, next. LJ Parrish. Snub or no snub?
It's tough to put anyone on X Factor on this list if we're having the discussion of this year, because they were just kind of trash in the first two events. They played great in the second event, third event, but it was kind of really hard. I had a hard time with it too. I'm like, man, there's so many good players on X Factor that historically are all-stars, but if you miss both 2 Sundays in a row,
I actually will say some.
Billy on the list.
I love
Cody Mikowski could beat Thanos in a 1v1.
It's awesome.
I think Chris Shear, and this is a guy that I played like D3 coming up with. I think he's greatly improved, and I do think he's deserved all the shine that he's got right now. But in my opinion, I think I'd put LJ out there before Chris. And you guys might not agree because I know everyone, and that's nothing against how much better he's playing right now. But also I think that LJ is a pretty fucking massive threat out there.
I'm pretty blown away you'd take Chris off this list.
Well, you love Chris, so this is not a debate with you because I know who you're gonna pick.
No, hold on, Kyle. Let me ask you this question: in the past 3 events, who do you think's played better, LJ Parrish or Chris Shear?
Chris.
Probably Chris.
Yeah.
Can Kyle? I asked Kyle a question.
I don't know. I honestly, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to say.
You shouldn't ask Kyle the question, dude. He can't figure it out.
Kyle.
Okay, LJ.
Speed round. Chris Shear
LJ
or
has
LJ Parrish?
played
Who played
better
better?
than Chris Shear in
Who
the
played
past
better?
3 events. All right. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
I mean, Kyle.
Okay, but we're not talking about.
Kyle, have you watched all the points?
Say, Kyle, you guys almost lost to them behind what Chris did, and you wouldn't give him the nod that he's probably better than LJ right now?
I no.
Based on the last 3 events.
Because he's just better, bro. That's what you say, Kyle.
Yeah, he's better right now.
There you go. Boom.
Hold on. I'm not saying that LJ Parrish.
Okay, you can have that Chris has been playing better this year, I guess,
You
but
better
like
not back down, Kyle. Do not back down in this.
If I'm gonna make a all-star team and it's between those 2 guys right now, I'm gonna put fucking LJ in over Chris because he is a massive threat on the field and he's a fucking dagger out there. Like LJ, like you have.
Just hold on. Just real quick, this is exactly what we're talking about. You're absolutely right. He's a giant threat out there, but Quinn's not wrong. Al's not wrong. I'm not wrong either. This is just the situation is that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. We don't really have any objective measure of this right now. I would definitely say though is just based on at least I have watched every single point that LJ Parrish and Chris Shear have played this year, and in my opinion, I feel if I had to put money or my life on it, just based on what we've seen through 3 events, I'm not talking historically at all, literally just through 3 events, that I think that Chris has played, better than LJ. But I think that if I had to put my bet on it for what I've seen out of their whole careers, I would go with LJ. So that's the problem, right? Is that if you are going to be giving, it's both a problem and fun at the same time, and that's why this is cool. Is that when you're given the vote, that's why these coaches are literally voted 108 players in out of 200 and something dudes. There's 109 guys got votes. So that's the reason why. Yes, Alex, you have to
Okay, number 1, Maddie, I watched every point this year. Have you watched every point this year? Bullshit? That is bullshit. Hold on. We have all been up in that booth. Wait a minute. We have all been up in that booth, and you cannot see a damn thing from up there. There's a camera right here in your face. The scoreboard is in your face. Dude, you are just making it up. We all know that.
I can see enough, and I got great vision.
Yeah, someone said it, and I agree with them too. LJ would be better than Chris in this game.
I love LJ Parrish. I'm a huge fan of LJ Parrish.
I have a story.
You're telling me read every fucking preview right. He's my player to watch every time for 2 years straight. Every team he's on. I love it.
I love him.
But we're talking about an all-star game where it's gonna be lawless. LJ is a lawless guy. He's like JC. He's a little monster. Like he'll stab you.
You're arguing, Kyle.
Yeah, you get O'Mara, LJ, and JC. Your team's never gonna lose, dude.
Exactly.
Dude, O'Mara is a shoo-in, dude.
For sure. That's hands down.
You're never gonna lose.
O'Mara in.
Yeah.
How
You're-
much
I've been on
rep
the
this
Amara
thing?
train longer than I think anybody.
You're gonna need everybody, all of Chicago PD to come in there and carry those guys off the field.
Amara trained since he was playing D4.
When A-Rod was on our team, he was like, dude, we gotta watch that Omara guy. We gotta watch him. I was like, what are you talking about? And then it was Omara, dude, ruining us. And dude,
That
Omara,
one move he
he's
did
the guy.
alone.
He's
Omara
the guy.
is dead.
Semi-final
Yeah.
match.
Yeah,
He
Big
is
Low
not on this list.
knows. Switchblade.
He's
That's
like-
OJ's
he's like
nickname.
Omara's like really nervous all the time in the pits and stuff. And you're like, man, you like don't want to get near him because you don't know what he's gonna do.
Hey, Alex, you get Omara his own head wrap because like something needs to happen because the sandana that he's using is literally turning into Martian dust. Like every,
Yeah, that
like,
makes
it's
it more
insane,
valuable.
bro. Like when I went over to him, it was because they made it to Sunday. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? Talking to everyone, kind of just making the rounds on Sunday morning, and I'm looking at his head wrap roll, and it's held together by, I don't know, like pixie dust and some sort of glue and some duct tape. I mean, it looks like somebody shot it with a shotgun 10 years ago and he's still been wearing it, bro. It's disgusting.
Someone did bring up a good point.
Being shot with a shotgun.
Somebody did bring up a good point. If you take Chris Shearer off the list, he will sue all of your asses. So that's fair.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Hey, that's actually a great segue.
Valid
Brian,
point.
can you set me up for an announcement?
Oh yeah, we ladies and gentlemen,
Lawyers.
those of you I think there are still people watching. Those of you who have stuck it out through this cuss fest.
There's 180 people.
I know. I'm joking.
Cuss like twice. What are you
No,
talking about?
Kyle went off.
Yeah, but I never cuss, so
Kyle
let me
sprinkled
have
it.
one day. We're about to be episode 100, and let
I
me
was
cuss
happy
once
to
or
see you
twice.
come alive there, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so actually we do have some really cool news here from Go Sports and and Maddie Marshall. We got a really cool announcement. So Maddie, why don't you hit them all with this?
All right, so Marcelo had hit me up. This guy's been a paintball guy for a while, but Marcelo hit me up a little while ago and was like, hey, one of our dudes, paintball guy, super into the game, been into it for a long time. He's a lawyer. He represents this awesome law firm, and he wants to come in and sponsor like a move of the tournament. So anyway, we've been kind of talking back and forth, and so starting at this next event, McClinley, Mosley, and Associates are going to be putting up $500 for the prelims and $1,000 for Sunday for best move of the tournament. So, like, if you go out and have an insane, ridiculous move, pull off a 1-on-4 or 1-on-5 or a 5-pack run through with some style points, whatever. However we figure it out, $1,000 on Sunday, $500 on the prelims, and it's a law firm that specializes in property insurance claims, negotiation, litigation. So they're kind of doing good work. They're basically going after insurance companies that don't want to pay people their money. And the dude's name is Pate. Huge big fan of the game and paintball player himself. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
Dude, pick these guys up.
I know a guy we
They're
could go
right
after.
now. Pick them. They're ready to go.
Dude, I'm just gonna run down the middle of the field if that's the case.
I mean,
you
these
make
guys
more
do not
make
look
more
like
money.
players. They look like pro wrestlers.
Make more money getting the move of the tournament than you do winning the tournament.
Yeah. Let's get a look at it here. Let's get a look at it. Yeah.
Hey, well, the viewers at home can't see it. Damn, those guys are.
That looks like a TV show.
Good
Yeah.
looking guys.
Good look.
I mean,
Guys.
this guy looks like Mark Wahlberg.
100%.
That was good.
The other guy looks kinda like Mouse.
Bad cop.
Yeah, a little bit.
On the left is Harris minus 40 pounds.
Those guys mean business. You can tell.
100%.
Well, let's go. Yeah.
These guys are representing me for sure.
Yeah, so McKinley, Mosley, and Associates, if you do happen to be somebody that needs the services of, a property insurance claim, just email Pate at MMA. With the way that those dudes look makes totally sense. MMA at PLLC.com. But yeah, so...
It's MMA-PLLC.
Yes, PLLC.com, which we'll continue to talk about this during the show. Because, yeah, they are fans enough of the game that they're putting up $500 for the
Dude, they have
prelims.
Instagram. Let's get these guys some follows. MMA_PLLC. Follow them. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
So
load 'em
they're,
up.
yeah, I mean, it's, dude, this is the type of stuff that we're talking about that's cool that's happening right now. It's like, you've been around the game long enough, and I'm happy that, we got people coming in and sponsoring the MVP, people coming in wanting to do stuff for the move of the tournament. We got all these different evolving shows, all these different people telling stories. We got an all-star game. We got Team USA. versus the world. We got the Europeans coming in to battle over the Champions Cup. Like, things are getting really interesting. So I'm, again, just having, being an old salty veteran with my bald head and my gray beard and my dad bod, I'm like pretty stoked about how all this is going down over the years.
Dude, Ryan Greenspan's a modern miracle.
He is. He's just a walking miracle, dude.
Walking
48
miracle.
years old, Ryan Greenspan still getting the number one votes in the All-Star game.
How many did he get points-wise?
77. Five more than Tyler.
Let's go.
Sorry,
What was the?
two more than Tyler.
Was there a lot of people that just got one vote?
I didn't. Again, Jason handled all the votes, and it was all anonymous. So all I got was the overall grouping, the 38 guys, and their total amount of votes, which I will share with anyone. That there's no reason this shouldn't be publicized. So if you want to know how many votes any of these guys got, let me know, and I'll let you know.
Perfect. All right, so last one I have, because I want to definitely get this one out to get your opinion, especially Maddie.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is snub or not this. I just thought I'm bringing it up if we're going to look at some of these guys as we're looking at younger guys in the league, bringing in on an All-Star game. What do you think of Aaron Smith from Hurricanes?
Well, Aaron Smith's awesome, but if I was going to go with one guy on the Hurricanes, and actually I did go with this guy on my vote, one of 25. Again, just looking at what we've seen, I voted for Stuart Ridgel up the center. I thought that he was playing. He had played at an all-star level for an event that was a big coming out party for those dudes. The fact, like, hey, we're here, and this is somebody you really have to worry about when you play that team. So I don't think that Pate was a snub.
Yeah, but Pate's got the hair, bro.
Pate does have the hair, and Pate's got the game. He's like a Connor Kelly for them. He's kind of all over the place, but and he's pulled off some low body magic.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't wear any headgear. He just wears his hair.
Yeah, because his hair is so thick and awesome that he's got enough cushioning with that. Why would you need a bandana or some Hormesis awesomeness when we have the hair that's that glorious?
Dude, I'm gonna sponsor Pate. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna make him Hormesis. We're not even with
Laura
the
and Pate.
He can't. He still can't have a headband, but we'll make him jeans. We don't want you wearing a headband, but you should wear jeans.
I feel like you might be able to talk him into a headband because Pate's pretty sweet. We had actually Pate, Camp, and Mike Bianca, their coach, on the show recently to talk to him. Those guys they're very they're fun, but they're very dialed in. I could see why they're doing as well as they're doing this early on in their careers because they're these are not children; these are grown men, and they've been doing the paintball thing for a long time, and they look and talk like this is not their first time here. So even though it is their first time because they're pros, but they don't seem daunted by the experience.
Yeah, they're certainly not playing like they are. So yeah, they're playing well.
How many people on these teams are under 30? Let's see, Keith.
That's a really good question.
Thomas, I think.
Years or votes?
No.
Years.
Years old.
Oh, years.
So on Team Skinny, you have Harrison.
Is Harrison under 30?
Yeah, he's 29.
Okay.
You have Harrison, Mike Urena. I think Danny
Jacob?
is.
No, Danny is over 30.
Okay.
Jacob, yeah, I think.
And then Meter is 28 or 29. He's not 30 yet, though. I think he's the same age as I am.
Okay, so let's say 3 or 4 guys, I guess.
Yeah, 3 out
who, like Joe Barrett, who's not in it. Connor Kelly,
Ryan Greenspan,
Kyle Berry, Ryan Greenspan.
I don't think Team Martinez has anyone under 30, do they?
Isn't Ryan Greenspan 28 or 29?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Holding.
Looks like it out there.
All right, next segment. Overrated picks. Ryan Greenspan, was it overrated?
Next segment.
I don't know, dude. I'd have to, my gut says yeah, but then when I look at the stats, he's won multiple MVPs recently, so I have to pull that away and be like, no, I don't think it's overrated at all.
By the skin of my teeth.
Ryan is so good, bro. You guys have no idea.
Don't stop it.
So, Alex, if you built a team of just 5 Ryans, and then anyone on this list, you could build 5 to go against that team, do they get a point?
I think the 5 Ryans would lose because they'd annoy each other to death.
They'd never be able to agree on a game plan?
They wouldn't be able to make it out on the field because they'd still be arguing about the game plan.
It's like an incomprehensible molecular structure that just
Yeah.
not solving.
There's actually
Like,
something
like,
similar
you
to
guys,
that
you
on
guys,
that
you
new
guys,
Resident
you
Evil
guys,
show.
You guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something similar to this.
It's like no, it's in like the Army of Darkness when
How do you beat 5 Ryan Greenspan?
when the mirror breaks.
I'll tell you how. You get 5 Alex Fraziers. That's how you beat him.
No, 5 Alex Fraziers would be toast.
Yeah.
Unless there was no refs.
Yo, but for one game, that team would be real good, probably. 1 or 2 of them would be a good one.
Yeah, we win like 1 point out of 5.
All right, based on conversations and game planning, who's gonna win, 5 Marcelos or 5 Ryans?
I mean,
I think Marcelo, because the Marcelos will sacrifice their own interests for the better of the Marcelos.
So it'll be just one of them out there.
when's the last time you saw Marcelo go up the center every point?
Yeah. Sacrifice ourselves to the greater good.
You're right.
All right, so on top of that, too, let's talk. Who's winning this?
Actually, you know who's winning on this list with that is Blake Yarbers. 5 Blake Yarbers. Because they're all going to agree, and they're all going to go out and do their job.
All 5 of them are going to go to the same bunker.
Yeah, they're all going to run to the same spot.
Yeah.
Who's winning it and by how much? Honestly, that is so impossible to pick until we know who's in the finals. Because let's just say.
Well, aside from that.
Well,
If the game was on
aside
Thursday.
from like the most important, if the game was on Thursday, which I hope it will be. I don't know, man. I mean, there's literally 19 dudes on these teams, and like, I mean, I could spend another 2 hours arguing over that exact question. I don't.
Maddie, come on.
Malloy, Fedorov, Archie, and Ryan, right?
Yeah, because Tyler, Mouse, J-Rab, Chad George, Marcelo, Jacob Edwards, Blake Garber, Rainey, Ryan Moore, Chad Boucher, Mikey Arena, those are all trash players.
They're all going to be hiding in the back. They're all going to be hiding in the back.
All those guys are going to be hiding in the back with Zach Yakimek, Harrison Fry, Jason Edwards, Connor Kelly, Cody Minkowski, Meter Ninos, Chris Shear, Danny Schonauer. Yeah, that's a trash team. You guys are right, dude.
Just look at it.
Martinez
Tyler Hunter hiding in the back. Justin Ravahar hiding in the back. Chad George, he's garbage. Marcelo, trash. Garber, get him out of there. Alex Goldman, he's okay, but he's
gonna get bunkered.
Muscles are too big.
Trash in that list.
Bunkers are too small for him.
When he's on a roll, baby, when Alex is on a roll, you gotta just let him go.
All right, hey, everybody in the comment that's watching right here, you guys all put in who you think is gonna win, Team Martinez or Team Skinny. Go ahead and throw it in there. We'll tally up the votes here. We've got one for Martinez already.
Well, how are your technical difficulties happening? Are there still people watching? Or
Yeah. We got a 70.
167.
Yeah, 170
Okay.
on there.
All right.
We've got 167 likes right now.
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning what Maddie's saying too. I think like literally the first point might decide this entire matchup. Like if Team Skinny gets the first point, like Blake pulls some shit off, Team Martinez might be fucked. Like that team could just sit.
Well, dude, I'm just wondering who's gonna want to play this game. Also, the game's gonna be 20 minutes long.
Oh,
wow.
An actual expo game.
Nice.
You know what I'm excited for is like actual paintball to be played where people are going to make moves and have fun and, put on a show instead of like, I mean, look, yeah, we want to win and everything, but I don't think everyone out there is going to be like too overwhelmed with like, all right, what's the best strategy on this field? Like, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be
you're
like,
high. That's absolutely happening on Team Skinny for sure.
well, that's why they're going to lose and that's why they're not going to have any fun.
That's what I'm saying. Who's the guy on Team Skinny where he's going to be like, all right, I'm fucking just going through center shooting anybody? Like,
Rainey?
Blake.
You're telling me Blake's not going to want to go and just get crazy
Dude,
with
I'm
it?
going to bonus ball the shit out of those guys, dude. I'm going to bonus ball the shit out of Blake. I don't even like bonus balling people.
You're going to have to bonus ball Chad George, dude, because Chad George loves to play these types of games, and he's definitely going to get after it for sure.
Dude, I love Chad.
Ryan Moorhead loves to get after in these games for sure. I think Chad Boucher, Mike Urena, I don't think he's ever played an All-Star game, so he's going to be like, holy...
What do you mean he plays on the All-Star team?
I will say this, in a fight, I think that Skinny's team would probably beat the shit out of us.
I don't know. We have Justin Cornell. We have Justin Cornell, but they do have Tyler Harmon.
But tough as shit.
He'll body slam all of those guys. We got Alex Frazier.
I feel like Malloy would probably just be able to kill like 5
Nick
people.
LaValle. I don't know. I feel like, Alex, other than you and maybe Ryan, like, and Archie, I feel like your team's like pretty stout in a fight.
Dude, Tyler Harmon, Blake Yarber.
Yeah, honestly, I think Tyler.
They're all arm rippers.
Cody Mikowski. I mean, these are all tough guys.
Yeah, they're all arm rippers.
Hey, dude, don't fight Zach Yakimek. I saw him. I've seen him and his brother fight each other till their hamburger meat before, out in the middle of nowhere, just for fun. Like, the Canadians don't give a shit, dude. They're down. They're down for it.
Dude, I went on a
Tyler
trip with
together would
Zach
be
Yakimek,
pretty
and he broke his
disgusting to
hand.
fight.
He broke his hand on Joshua Metz's face, and he just went on the rest of the snowboarding trip for like 5 days with a broken hand.
Jesus.
He's like, I can't get my glove on. We're like,
That's so gangster.
Gangster.
All right, I gotta head out, but I'm gonna give one more question. This is the last one.
Okay.
20 minutes buzzes out. It's 14-14. One-on-ones. Winner
hope this
take
happens.
all. Who's winning for each team?
Ooh, that's a great question, Quinn. That's a great question. Let's let Kyle Spicka answer that question real quick. Kyle Spicka for Team Martinez. Who are you sending out for your squad?
Dude.
I guess it kind of is going to be who's playing hot, but I think my tops would be Archie, Fedorov, and Brandon Cornell. Actually, Brandon Cornell would probably be on the top.
I like that. Brandon's due for a one-on-one win after the loss that he had in the last.
And just to point out, Nick Laval has won multiple one-on-one championships overseas.
Yes.
All right, now hit him
For
with
the other one, I'd probably put out Jacob Edwards.
Right? I would.
No,
why
so
not? Ride the hot hand. Right?
yeah, so,
I mean,
but no, Jacob or J-Rab or
Or Tyler.
Tyler though too. They do have a lot. I think they have a lot of.
Here's
They're
the deal.
deep with
Between
one-on-one players over there.
Tyler is the one-on-one champ right now. If I had to bet money on this, I would be like, bring out your champions. I would be like, give me Tyler and give me Ryan. You know, give me your.
Oh yeah.
Because those are the guys that won the two. They're the captains. They're the two highest vote getters. How could you not go with them right out the gate? You know what I mean? Like, let's just decide it with the champions, like an old school battle from 5000 BC back in Samaria. You know, all right, how many people do we want to get slaughtered in this battle? Or should we just have it just go down to a one-on-one and then just one person has to get slaughtered to the gods of the war?
Call Gerard Butler out there.
All right, hand over your wives. Ryan's dead.
All right, let me give you my answer, and this is why I think it is.
All right.
Team Skinny, I'm picking Tyler Harmon.
All right.
But Martinez, I'm
Wait,
picking
you
Tracy
just
for this reason.
said that Cody Mikowski was who you would play.
Oh, yeah, hold it up, dude.
I'm
Flex
picking
on 'em.
eggs for this
Flex
reason.
on 'em, eggs.
They roll out eggs, and say he somehow fucking miraculously gets the shot in. That's like 30 years from now, we're still fucking gonna talk about that. That's what you want to see. Like, I want the salty dog comes out.
So we're going on a lucky ball here. That's the lucky ball theory.
So great, dude.
Dude, lucky ball in my ass. How many motorcycles have you won in a one-on-one tournament? Zero.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's a great. I love that.
Quinn, I thought for sure you were going to pick Mark Johnson.
Excellent. That was an excellent question. We didn't get Ryan's pick though. So Ryan, know Tyler. Who are you going with?
I would
Let Quinn go.
I like the Brandon Cornell. I like Nick Laval or possibly Thomas Kim.
Yes, that's a good
I'm
pick.
going down
I like
on the
that
bottom.
pick.
Thomas Kim even might be the guy. But honestly, I think Archie would be the number one. Archie, Thomas, and Brandon Cornell. And then
Love that.
the other side.
Ooh, there we go, Quinn.
The other side.
Batman.
I just have to point something out that Kyle tried to point out is I think I have to go with Cody Mikowski as the number one on Team Skinny, seeing as you said you put everything on it, Quinn, and then you immediately went to the other. You went and didn't pick him.
The story's better if Alex is smoking Tyler because it's expected that Tyler's winning that. He's the undisputed 1v1 world champ.
Dude, how many motorcycles has
Tyler would hate to blame me.
How many motorcycles has Tyler won? Zero.
I have nothing to lose in that situation.
That's fair.
He's got nothing to lose.
And I've played Tyler in one-on-one probably over 100 times.
Alex is not
How's it
tucking
going?
in.
I don't know. I beat his ass sometimes and he beats my ass sometimes. But usually it's me coming onto his side of the field and either winning or losing a firefight within 20 feet of him. I can't remember one time where he came down on me.
Yeah, you can't.
He uses his gun skills to win. He capitalizes on the mistakes.
Can't remember one time he's gone down on you?
Huh? Dude, I will come down and I'll bunker you in a one-on-one, Ryan. That's what I will do to you.
Did you hear what he said?
You hear what you said?
Dude, in 2 days when you come up here, I'm playing you in one-on-one. I'm going to bunker you out of your spot.
Okay. Okay. I accept that. Hey, where are my coins at?
Let's go, dude. Right here.
Yeah.
You just put those those gratitude coins in your pocket the other day.
I got you. Yeah, I'll bring my gratitude coins that I gave to myself.
Yeah, bring me some of those too.
Oh man.
You got these to give out at the event coming up here.
Pay your respects, man.
If there's a one-on-one.
I forgot to collect my coin for my Nick Sloviak one-on-one, by the way.
Well, I have it for you right here.
Nice.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Quinn.
All right, well, I'm heading to bed, gents. I got an early day.
All right, you're the man. That was great. This was.
Thank you for your time and your questions and your research. You do an excellent job, and
thanks
we're
for having
blessed to have
faith in
you.
me. Thanks for having faith in me. I hope you have glorious paintball games where you're
Forever
bunkering
faith
people.
in you, Eggy.
Yeah, have glorious paintball dreams about Alex.
You're gonna bunker people.
Coming on to you.
For sure. You guys have a good night.
Do you ever have those paintball dreams where you're like playing and you're behind a guy and your gun just doesn't work and you're like, yeah, oh shit, it's the worst.
Dude, the two dreams that I still have are one that I go to a college class and I'm like, haven't been prepared at all, and I need to pass it or I don't get my degree. And then I have another paintball dream where Bob Long comes to me and he's like, all right, Matty, are you ready for your opportunity to make it as a pro paintball player? And none of my stuff's ready. And then I wake up from these dreams sometimes in a row and I'll be like, okay, I have a college degree and I was on the Ironman and won a world championship. So I just need to stop having these dreams. But they never stop. But yeah,
Alex,
you're doing well if that's your worst fear.
Yeah,
yeah. What's up, man?
Tim is asking if you have wet paintball dreams.
I don't think I have. I've only had 2 wet dreams in my life, and neither of them. I don't even remember what I was dreaming about, honestly.
Neither. Yeah.
I just woke up. I was like, "What the hell happened?"
Oh yeah, very moist. All right, well, great.
Thanks for that question. I'll give you an honest answer, though.
Yeah, you did. Well,
we gotta figure out how to shut this down because all the computers are broken.
All the computers are broken, but
dude, the Spick and Span Show is gonna last forever.
Well, just leave it on. It's just gonna stay on.
I'm gonna.
Can you make sure you save it so all this didn't go to waste?
No, it will.
Oh yeah,
it's the last artifact that the aliens find when they come here. The Spick and Span Show will still be running.
Yeah, this is
after the U.S. and Canada go to nuclear war over Pelosi going to Taiwan. This will be the last thing that's left.
Someone's gonna come rummaging through our garage and look.
Look, it's just all it's looking to do is to upload to a Wi-Fi signal. Just searching for the Wi-Fi signal.
How hot is it in your guys' garage?
Dude, we're cooking.
Dude, I was sweating. It's gotten cooler now, but everything's shut down. It's all black. We're just frozen on the Quinn's pick, but we still have a lot of people watching. So thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I did pick a bunch of winners throughout here. I did say I was going to give some stuff away based on viewer activity. So we got Caitlin Lawrence won a $50 gift card from Matrix Gear. Molly Gohard, you also won $50. Chris Sautelli won $100. From Matrix Gear, and then Dr. Despair and Taylor White also are going to be getting some prizes from Committed Paintball shipped up to them. So we do want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you, Maddie, Quinn, Alex. Thank you for doing your time with us every week.
And also, just so everyone knows, Thomas Taylor's camouflage excessive jerseys are dropping tomorrow, just in case somebody's.
And what about your jerseys, Maddie? Did you?
They're camo, not the OG like bear ones. He already did those, so you can't get any of those. And mine are the pre-sales are done. But if you want a camo Thomas Taylor OG excessive jersey, those are dropping tomorrow.
All right, sick. And wait, did all yours sell out?
Well, it wasn't like I didn't go with like just a run. I took pre-orders. I'm gonna make a couple extra. But it's been done for a week, and I'm hearing that maybe we might be getting them by Chicago. Like, don't beat me up if they're not there by Chicago, but it's kind of up to the whims of JT, so we will see. But yeah, that's the plan, hopefully.
All right.
It went well. So,
Fantastic.
Get everyone's jerseys.
Sweet.
Well, killer, dude. Thank you guys very much. Make sure you're following Matrix Gear PB, Hormesis Paintball, Go Sports. Check out the much better production of a live draft that we took last week. No frozen
Go
screens.
Sports is YouTube.
Yeah. It's on the YouTube channel. That's right. For those of you, because I actually was looking for it on Go Sports' websites. But it is actually a free piece of content on the YouTube channel. So just search Go Sports, and you'll be able to see the All-Star Draft.
Yeah, and then the event going down next week in Sacramento. It's going to be 3,000 degrees out, and it's going to be toughest human survives. So we're going to see how that goes. But Dynasty will be there, so I'm excited to see how you guys do.
Awesome. Yep, we're excited to do better than 10th place.
I'm sure you probably will. Make a Sunday.
All right, well, I'm just going to push this button and hold it down for a little bit, and